What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys, you know what it is, Record of Ragnarok! Waiting for Shuumatsu no Valkyrie, Chapter 48. We already have Caden in here saying first. Now, I was told that this chapter was going to drop at some time today, but now it seems to be sometime tonight, as it's already 10 o'clock my time. So, I'm sitting here hoping that the chapter is going to drop soon, relatively soon, probably in the next hour or so. I'm praying to the, well, wait a minute, that's ironic. We're praying to the gods that are trying to kill us in Record of Ragnarok that the chapter does drop before the end of this stream. So that's all I can promise you guys. This is just going to be a wait. This is going to be me just shit posting, talking, doing whatever until we come up with something. Maybe if some people want to talk in the VC on Discord or something like that, we'll do that in the meantime. I don't know. But either way, how's everybody doing tonight? Are you guys as pumped as I am for Chapter 48? And 49. 49's dropping as well, but 48, of course, will drop first. But are you guys as pumped as I am for Chapter 48 to drop? Because I'm fairly excited. I really am, because I feel like now what we've got, we have Buddha's backstory, which was honestly probably, I'm not going to lie to you guys, Buddha in real life versus Buddha, like this is something that people need to get through their thick skulls, and it's nothing to do with my wonderfully doing video earlier this afternoon that I posted this afternoon, which I hope you guys definitely went and checked out. But people need to be able to separate real life Shiva from Shiva in Record of Ragnarok, and people also need to do the same thing with Buddha, because in all honesty, Buddha backstory, meh. Not bad, but I can think of 3 backstories way better off the top of my head. Like seriously, just not really that exciting a backstory. Zero Fuku's backstory is second, in my opinion, only to Jack's. Jack probably has the best backstory in the series, and then followed, I would argue, by Zero Fuku. And then after that, that's the question. Why don't we ask that first, guys? Why don't we ask that first? What do you think? What are the top 3 backstories? Just to keep this stream interesting. Like we're gonna get pumped up, guys. What is your guys' favorite backstories? What do you think is the best written backstories? Top 3, go. And I don't know how to say this. I says Team Buddha. And don't get me wrong, I agree that Buddha will likely win, but I think we're going to see either our first tie or our first forfeit. I think that neither Buddha nor Zero Fuku is going to die, but that Buddha will be the decisive victor, that humanity will have a win. So, but that's me. His content is in here. Hey, Misk, he says, I'm very excited to read it translated. Of course, because Misk can't wait. Misk is that kid that goes into his parents' closet before the 25th of December. He wants to know what the hell he's getting for Christmas. Ooh, I see you, Misk. Caden message retracted. Caden also says, in the anime, Adam physically changed his arm into the same arm as a Snake Man, so theoretically he could copy Shiva's move too. Thank you. Actually, Caden, clearly you haven't watched my episode, I guess it was the episode 7? I forget, it was episode 7 in Record of Ragnarok or episode 8, but the one where they told Adam's backstory, which I believe was episode 7, might have been 8 though, I'm not 100% sure on that, but either way, when they showed that, I argued that the anime did a better job than the manga for that, because in the manga, it's not clear. In the anime, it's crystal clear, because a lot of people were saying that Eyes of the Lord cannot, like, what if he fought a giraffe who kicked him with his hind legs? What if he fought an elephant and smacked him with his trunk? What if he fought this? What if he fought that? Can he copy these powers? Can he copy that powers? The only reason it wasn't depicted is because it was a fist fight, right? But clearly in the anime, puts all that argument down the toilet that I've been arguing since the manga chapter came out, is that Eyes of the Lord is invincible. You can't beat... the only way to beat Eyes of the Lord is the butterfly effect, which is what happened to Adam. The only way to beat Eyes of the Lord is to not die. Like, seriously. That's the only way to beat it. Buddha can't do it with his future sight. Shiva can't do it with his all-seeing. Raiden can't do it. Jack, Heracles, nobody, Lubu, Thor, nobody can beat Eyes of the Lord. Like, you could argue, what would Adam do if Thor smacked him with Thor's hammer? It's like, he would automatically materialize Thor's hammer and smack him with it. That's what would happen, because Eyes of the Lord. It's not limited to his body. That's the great thing, and I love that the anime did that. Great for bringing that up, Caden. Skin is in here. Hey, Skin. He said, do you think Zerafuku might pull a wild card and beat Buddha? I very much doubt it. I think that the ending is going to surprise all of us, and I don't think any of us... If anybody thinks that there's just going to be a clear victor, and either Buddha's going to die or Zerafuku's going to die, I think that that is in a low percentage of possibility. In all honesty, I don't believe that. I really don't. I think that this fight... where it had it's a god versus a god for the first time and stuff, it's such a twisted fight from the get-go, I think the ending is going to leave us just as twisted, right? Misk is in here. I think Miss says, I'm a big fan of Kojiro's backstory. It does a very good job of making him endearing and showing him how his philosophy around swordsmanship differs from other swordsmen. Absolutely. Kojiro actually does have a good backstory. Once again, I would argue is quite a bit better than Buddha's. Buddha's is honestly probably one of the most boring. Thor's and Lu Bu's were kind of basic, but not boring. I feel like for all the hype Buddha's getting, Buddha's is kind of boring. Zeus's is boring too, in a sense. Zeus's is not boring's the wrong word. Zeus's isn't super in-depth or interesting. Neither is Thor's, and neither is, But Buddha had such an in-depth backstory, but it wasn't really, Miss Gull said, I just know that the 12th labor Hercules is there now. Yes, my boy Heracles is right here. It took me a long time, honestly, guys, because you guys don't know, well, Miss knows, and a lot of you guys know, Heracles is my favorite character in the series. He's my Escanor of the series, right? I love Heracles. He won the war, guys. Let's just say that he won the goddamn war. Jack admitted he lost. He did lose, So let's just go on that. But Heracles is one of the best, and it took me a long time because all the color panels for my streams and stuff, all the color panels always have like his shoulder, like right here, just cropped off or something like that, like right here or something, or his hair's cropped off, and it's like, sort of idea. So it was very difficult to find an image colored for the longest time, so I always used this symbol of the griffin, which ironically, Shuumatsu no Valkyrie used. I just picked the griffin because I had a freaking clip art, so that was got to be one of the most ironic things ever. But I finally found this image, and I edited it, from the manga and stuff, and I just said, fuck it, I don't care if it's in color, I'm just going to post it. So I think it looks really cool. And actually, this is also the same format I use for Tokyo Ghoul. It's my updated format, which I'm trying to recreate for all my live streams for my One Punch Man, my Tokyo Ghoul, etc., etc. This is cleaner. It's subtle, but it's different than my other streams. Of course, the white border, the faded borders around the video and the live chat and etc. It makes things look more crisp, more clean, that kind of idea. So I was playing around with that, and I finally said, well, before I get the regular Ragnarok chapter, I got to do this, right? And actually, Misk, I would have liked a full shot of just regular Heracles. Couldn't find one. That would suit, like that something wasn't cut off or a text box wasn't in the way or something. I couldn't find one. I think it would be a draw, but there's also the possibility of Buddha dying trying to save Zero from himself. See, that's what I'm saying. It'll be an ending like that. It could be a draw. It could be Buddha sacrifices himself like Heracles did to save Jack, etc., etc. That kind of idea. There's a lot there, right? Caden said, going by backstory, Jack, Zerafuku, Heracles, Buddha, Adam, Raiden, Lubu, best to worst. Raiden's backstory is better than Buddha's. But I will admit that Adam's backstory is so simplistic. We've heard the story 1,000 times. I agree with that. And actually, I would stack that Heracles' backstory is super unique because it's completely original. It has zero to do with the mythology. None of that is true and never happened. Sort of like Zerafuku. Zerafuku is a totally OG god in Record of Ragnarok. He does not exist in mythology. he is the combination of Bishamonten and all this stuff, and the author taking poetic license, which I wish a lot of Hindus and a lot of Buddhists would try to understand, that this is poetic and it's got licenses and it's interpretations, it's fictional. How many synonyms for it's not real do I need to say? But yeah, so actually I agree with your list, but I would say that I think Raiden's is better than Buddha. But yeah, overall, not a bad list there. Skin said, I love Jack's backstory as it really tells us why Jack is the way he is, and I know some people have a problem with tragic backstories, but I usually love them. One Piece literally took the world by a storm because of the Nami backstory. The Nami backstory is what sold. The Arlong Park arc is what sold everyone with the Luffy help me shit. The Straw Hats all have tragedy in their backstories for the most part, but Nami's is what actually made readers go, holy shit, this stuff isn't just for kids. Like, this isn't just all fun and games with a rubber man anymore, you know? Like, there's some real shit here, you know? So, sure, we had Zoro and sure we had Sanji and stuff up to this point, but Usopp's was sort of like, oh, my dad left me. Well, that's common and stuff. Luffy just like, I just want to be a pirate, you know, whatever. And Shanks, you know, was his role model as a little kid and saved his life. You know, these things are fine dandy, but it wasn't until Nami we got a real heartfelt thing. And tragic backstories work so well for that cause that this is why everyone, like so far, nobody has denied that Jack has the best backstory. It's the most tragic, therefore it's the best. Maybe, maybe not, but I think there is a correlation between tragic backstories and other backstories. His backstory is the most tragic. That's why people flock to it. I think there is a correlation there. Skin also said, I could go on why I love it, but I think Jack is my favorite, then Zerafuku or Kojiro. Kojiro also does have a very good backstory. I would argue Kojiro's backstory is better than Buddha's, better than Adam's. I think that Rasputin's backstory is going to be in the top 3. I think it's going to be it's going to be in 3rd place. I don't think it's going to surpass Jack's or Zerafuku's, but I think Rasputin's is going to take 3rd place. I really do. I said, but if you think about it, if Buddha and Zerafuku ends up in a draw, what happens after the fight though? Because like, wouldn't they need to fight? They need to fight gods. No. What would happen is like right now, technically, the gods, one human is out and one god is in. So it's either Hermes or maybe Hades or Ra, all these anticipated gods that a lot of people are like, why aren't they on the list? You know, maybe Aphrodite will fight. Who knows? Because this manga has been called sexist before and stuff, so maybe they need a female in there. I don't know. But with Buddha flipping sides, that leaves the gods one short and throws one of the humans out. So which human doesn't get to fight? And what god is going to be added to the list? Right? See, that's the thing. There are so many theories about how that can go down, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but like it's nobody knows. That's the point. That's why these chapters are so interesting. Honestly, the fight itself, once again, round 4 and 5 or 5 and 6, sorry, sort of the weakest fights overall, in my opinion. Lubu versus Thor, I got a new appreciation due to the anime. Adam versus Zeus is definitely like the top tier fight, right up there with round 4. Round 3, of course, the first victory for humanity. Like, how would you actually put round 5 or 6 against any of the first 4 fights? I just don't see it yet. Like, the hype is there, don't get me wrong. All the fights are good. But when you think about it, there are better fights, right? So, Skin says, yeah, the way I rank them is Zeus, then Adam, then Buddha in terms of power. Zeus, then Adam, then Buddha in terms of power. Well, Adam was based on the butterfly effect. Adam actually beat him in endurance. And honestly, I still say Adam is strongest in the verse only because the reason he lost was the butterfly effect. It had zero to do with Zeus being stronger. So Zeus and Adam are like the 50-50 with the equal sign sort of idea. Buddha would lose to Eyes of the Lord because I haven't seen anything that would show me that he wouldn't so far. So maybe Buddha in terms of power. In terms of power, yeah, I'll go with that. Actually, I'd like to see Thor Thor versus Buddha. That would be interesting. I think Thor is one of the strongest gods we saw, and he just had it was a very meathead fight, and we didn't get to see Thor actually tremble, But yeah, those are the current top three. I mean, I think Odin's above Buddha, but sure. Unless Hades is somehow overpowered badass. I mean, he is the little devil. He's going to be strong. I mean, potentially, absolutely. Skin also says, Griever, we need that tier list for Record of Ragnarok in terms of power and character. Once again, very easy for me. Adam's on the top, and Zeus and Odin are up there. Buddha potentially is there. By the looks of it, he probably deserves to be there. But once again, we don't know all the characters. But as the characters we saw so far, I would argue that the three gods in that tier are up there along with Adam. And then below that, you have probably guys like that we've seen would be probably Thor, Kojiro, I don't know. Right now, it's hard for me to do. I had to think about each matchup individually, but those would be my top 5 or 6 right now. Yeah. Eventually, I'll do a tier maker list, and I'll do it. Sure, why not? Skin said, "How would you rank this fight so far?" It's every fight in the series is good. It's the second worst fight in the series. The first 4 fights are better. And then it goes round 6 and round 5. Round 5, Shiva versus Raiden is the weakest fight for me. But yeah. Let's see. Skin also said, I definitely think it's better than Shiva versus Raiden, but I don't know if it's better than any other fight yet. Yeah, so we agree on that. That's basically what, yeah, okay. I said, can Adam copy Buddha's abilities? The eyes of the Lord can copy anything. That's what we know. Because, Buddha isn't really a god, but more like seen as a divine being because of enlightenment. Eyes of the Lord allows him to copy any of his enemies' attacks. It's not, I don't remember it ever stating that it only copied god abilities. It copies literally anything. Which is why Adam was the trump card and Brunhild was so pissed. Boom Bomber's in here and says, what's up, Griever? What's up? How you doing? Ms. Khan said, Jack's backstory is probably the best written and the most compelling. It was also, I believe, the longest page-wise. So maybe that has a factor into it, but sure. So Misk has a point. Caden said, in the universe of Record of Ragnarok, Buddha is the 100% a god. He is a human that reached divinity. And Heracles became a... See, what's weird is that Heracles ate the hairs. That, Buddha should technically be a demigod. You know what I mean? So I don't know how that works. But anyways, it's manga, it's fiction, it's the rules of Shuumatsu no Valkyrie, right? But yeah, Skin said it was confirmed that Adam could copy any technique. Right, any technique, not just the god's technique. Adam, eyes of the Lord, ladies and gentlemen, or divine reflection, can copy anything. Anything. We know that for a fact. Eyes of the Lord was only beaten because Adam got unlucky. Literally, it was luck-based that Zeus didn't die. I mean, that's the only way to look at it. Skin said, yeah, I'm pretty sure regardless humor or god, Adam can copy. I'm sure on that too. Caden said, who do you think is going to be the next god reveal? I want to see the most intriguing to me is, once again, I think Anubis versus Rasputin is the best matchup possible. But a lot of people want Anubis against Simon because of the sniper thing. I don't know. But the god I want to see the most, because I'm so curious, is Beelzebub. Is Beelzebub going to be the devil? Is Beelzebub going to also be... Here's a fun fact, as somebody just wrote about Hades being the devil himself in Greek. What if, hold the phone for a minute, what if Beelzebub is not just the devil, Satan, Lucifer, all that stuff from the Bible? What if he's Izami? What if he's King Yama? What if he's Hades? What if he's all of them? What if Beelzebub is literally the king of hell? Beelzebub represents every pathos, does not belong to the Greek, the Norse, the Bible, the Hindus, none of them. And Beelzebub is the name he's choosing to use right now, but he's got a million personalities and personas. That would be amazing. That'd be some like Persona, the video game, the Persona series level shit where it's like he's got multiple versions. Like, that would be insane. Did I just figure out what Beelzebub's going to be? But see, that's the thing. The best reveal is going to be Beelzebub because I just want to know. There's not really, like, sure, we're going to get different interpretations and blah, 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 and we always get that with Record of Ragnarok, but I seriously, Beelzebub has so many directions, unlike any of the other gods on the list. We don't know what direction Beelzebub could go. So, that's why I'm saying, yeah, that one. Kane said, or human fighter, I'm most excited for Rasputin. Rasputin, Tesla, or Leonidas. Those are my three that I want to see. I said I can't be the only one waiting for Nikola Tesla to fight. Yeah, Tesla's amazing. Boom Bomber said Tesla's going to be lit. Yeah, Tesla is going to be lit. It would be cool if the god that will join the tournament would be Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong. I believe I know that name. Sun Wukong. Isn't that supposed to be some crazy general or something? I don't remember. Yeah, but sure. The name sounds so familiar. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's just, my brain's getting old, guys. So yeah. Skin said, the way I rank my fights are Jack versus Heracles, fair. Adam versus Zeus, fair. Kojiro versus Poseidon, fair. You did misspell Poseidon, but that's fine. Thor versus Lubu, Shiva versus Raiden. I would probably put... You know what? I would originally have agreed with that, but ever since I saw the anime, I have to put Thor and Lubu as probably my third favorite fight. The anime, which, once again, check out the video I posted today, guys, because I go off on those fucking stupid people. But at the end of the day, the anime, Thor vs. Lubu was the weakest fight in the series when I was reading the manga. The moment July 17th hit, now Thor vs. Lubu is one of my favorite fights. So the anime did its fucking job. It took a fight I didn't even really like and made me not only like the fight, but now love the two characters. I was actually sort of disappointed in the interpretation of Thor when I read the manga. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. It's okay, this is Thor, whatever. He seems like a piece of stone. He doesn't really care. But it's the subtle things. The anime, the OST, the VAs, it made the music and the OST sold Thor versus Lubu for me. So, yeah. I would have agreed with that list 100% manga only. But ever since the anime, I got to rank Thor versus Lubu my third favorite fight. I said, that would be funny since Buddha is already out of the tournament. I mean, there you go. Ms. Conant said, I realized recently that Buddha's ascension may have just been him dying. And then all the gods looked at him and they thought, yeah, I guess he can hang with us. What? Did he die? You mean when he was on the camel and he reached enlightenment, he was dying a heat stroke or something? What are you talking about, Misk? Like, is that what happened? Like, enlightenment. Oh, God, I should have really not drank all that wine and I really should have had some water. Oh, the sun. Holy shit. Oh, my friend's dead. Oh, shit. Boom! I mean, seriously. That is the worst part about that backstory, is that Buddha's ascension makes no fucking sense. Heracles, Zerofuku literally already was ascended and failed. Like, it's sort of like the Gollum versus Frodo. You know what I mean? That's literally what this is. Zerofuku is what he tried to be Buddha and failed, but the difference is Buddha did zero effort to do it. Alright, zero effort's a bit harsh, but the fact of the matter is he got rewarded for realizing maybe the world shouldn't work this way, and boom, he gets godhood. Like, that's, Zerofuku was already a god, came down, tried to help humans, and fucked up. Maybe Zerofuku is a byproduct of Buddha. I don't know. I have no idea. Where's the parents of Zerofuku? Seriously. That was good. Wow, actually the chat's going off today. Okay, I thought that I would have to find a lot of things to talk about and like beg Miss to jump into VC for a while, but apparently I just can't keep up with you people. Don't get me wrong, I love you people for this. This is great. Like, I thought I would be extremely bored, but I gotta wait for this chapter. I'm not getting anything else done, so, yeah. This is fantastic. So thank you, everybody, for being a part of the stream. It's fun. Skin says, Adam versus every other god than Zeus. Well, if Adam and Zeus had to go again, it's not confirmed that Adam couldn't kill him. So, Adam versus any god, Adam wins. Adam's the strongest we've seen in verse thus far, as far as I'm concerned. I said, what if he is all of them? Exactly. Miss said, having Adam equal Zeus is probably the best idea since the whole last act of their fight was them being perfectly balanced against each other with a random trigger being needed to decide the outcome. But what I'm going to argue, Miss, with that is that Zeus admitted that in a battle of endurance, Adam would have won. So that unlucky break that Adam got is what made them 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, so, because Zeus himself said, if anything else had to happen, I would have lost. Zeus admitted it right in the manga, in the anime, battle of endurance, Adam won. So, at the same point, I can't say, no trigger to Zeus or Adam. By that logic, Zeus is like, he would have outlasted me. So I say Adam's stronger. By a hair, but still a hair. I said, who's the one that would fight Beelzebub, though? That is an excellent question. I have no idea. I've got zero. People do matchups all the fucking time, and I've got no idea because every matchup so far has surprised me. I haven't guessed a single goddamn one. So, yeah. Excuse me. Miss said, Kentucky, since he's a folk hero and a demon hunter? Maybe. Good guess there. Skin said, in the last round, Zeus is going to fight someone, but who might that person be? Kratos? Yes, Zeus is going to fight his son Kratos at the end of the story. He probably would have fought King Leonidas, because Brunhilde is going to be, of course, merged and blah, blah, blah. You guys know the classic theory. I said the Monkey King. Oh, Son Goku. Oh, Son Wukong. Son Goku. Right, that's why. It's Son Goku. Right. You know what? That would have been cool. And Misk is coming in with the facts and the lore, saying Skin, Kratos isn't a real guy from Greek myth. That'd be a huge copyright dispute. Yeah, Kratos doesn't actually exist. He was developed by Sony. The God of War franchise made up Kratos. Kratos isn't real. Heracles is real. Heracles is the demigod son of Zeus, and all that stuff. But yeah. Skin said, so is no one going to talk about how Odin is planning to weaken the Greek gods to take over as part of the prophecy Ragnarok? I mean, no. I guess because I really don't see them going down the classic. Look at everything that is not classic about this. Look at everything. Not a single god or human has been depicted. Like, seriously, have any of them been depicted in their classic literal format? Maybe Ares? Maybe Hermes as a messenger, but he's acting more like Loki. Loki being a hipster. Odin's actually probably the only one that is classic literature, so maybe you have a point. I don't know, but Jesus Christ. Like, nothing is really adding up when it comes to Record of Ragnarok, so. Caden said, Son Wukong is the Monkey King from Chinese mythology. Oh, so like Journey to the West. Got it. Miss Condent said, nah, like after getting enlightened, he didn't become a god. Then I don't think he just accepted as a god once he died and went to the afterlife. Oh, that's what you mean. It's like, okay. Yeah, everyone's saying there's got to be a 2.0 of Buddha's backstory here, and I'm just kind of like, maybe? Like, how did he know about Valland, and how did Brunhild not, when it involves literally the Valkyrie's ability, not Buddha's? But how did he know this and etc. And it's supposed to be enlightenment of the gods. How did all the gods not know it? Like, you know what I mean? But Hermes knew it. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions. We could dive deep into the lore of Shuumatsu no Valkyrie, and we could come up with 100 good questions for what, you know? And sorry for the muscle shirt, guys, but it is literally, it's hot as balls today. We have a warning of a heat wave here. It was like 101 degrees Fahrenheit for all you Americans who don't understand Celsius. But it was about 35 degrees today. That's about 101 or 100, something like that in Fahrenheit. So yeah, I'm sweating to beat the band right now. Like, I do have an overshirt here, but seriously, if I put that on, I'm probably gonna die. So yeah. But yeah. My muscles aren't that impressive. I'm not like let's put on a wife beater and let's be Dwayne The Rock Johnson. You know, I know I'm a scrawny guy, so it's not about impressing anyone. It's seriously just, that's why my hair is tied back and everything. I'm fucking sweating to beat the band. It's crazy, and it's hot with that light overhead and everything. Fuck. If I could do this shit in the dark and you guys didn't care, that's what I would probably do. And I got no fan in here. The air conditioning is going, but it only keeps the whole house at a certain temperature, so. Anyways. Skin said, I know, but I would be a dream to see Kratos fight Zeus at the end. Why? Listen, I played God of War, and wanting Kratos in there is like basically to me the equivalent of wanting the prince from Prince of Persia in there. Like, yeah, that'd be kind of novel and cool, but it makes no sense. So like, I don't get why people want Kratos. Kratos is not a bad character, but he's not that fun. I would not put him on a top 10 video game character list of all time, so I don't get why everybody loves Kratos so much. Really don't. Boom Bomber says, to be honest, Buddha didn't need the god's permission. He just walked in. Apparently. Skin said, my hero fandom versus regular Ragnarok anime fandom. Ooh. Well, as far as I'm aware, as shitty and as fucking entitled cunts as the goddamn Record of Ragnarok anime community has been, to a solid adaptation. To answer your question, Skin, at the end of the day, I haven't heard word about death threats to the mangaka or the producers or Netflix yet. So, honestly, I still say it's my hero until we hear about death threats. Caden said, when Adam turned Zeus' head around 360, he should have stomped his head in afterwards just to be sure Zeus was dead, and he didn't double tap. Yeah, like, realistically, right there, Adam had an opportunity to kill Zeus. Like, that's what I'm saying. Adam's the strongest in the verse, guys. Seriously, he's the strongest in the verse. We haven't seen anybody be stronger than him yet. If you think you have, I don't know what you're reading. I really don't. Eyes of the Lord wins. Skin said, have you read Requiem of the Shinsengumi? No, I have not, but I am very familiar with the actual history of the Shinsengumi, and I do plan to read the Requiem of the Shinsengumi. It's currently ongoing manga. They're currently being written by the same author, Ragnarok. Yes, I do know about that, and I do plan to read it. So, but thanks for promoting it. Skin said, off topic, sorry. Haven't been this hyped in a while for a new chapter as I have been for the Hunters Guild Red Hood. Thank you. Hunters Guild Red Hood. Sorry for everybody who loves Undead Unluck. Sorry for everybody who likes Black Clover. Sorry for everybody who likes My Hero Academia. But at the end of the day, best thing I've seen since Dr. Stone. Seriously. Best thing. Best thing I've seen. Chapter 1. That Chapter 1 I would stack against almost any Chapter 1 I've ever seen. It's better than the Bleach Chapter 1. It's better than One Piece Chapter 1. It's better than fucking My Hero Academia, Black Clover, Rurouni Kenshin. It's one of the best first opening chapters I have ever read. It beats Naruto, it beats One Piece, it beats Beelzebub. The only one I can think of is Dr. Stone, because what they do with this one is they hit the ground running. And that's the point of our first chapter. Our first chapter is supposed to make us this goddamn hype. For us to go, fucking yes, where's more? Like, that's what you're supposed to feel. You're not supposed to sit down and go, after you read a first chapter job is to do that. If a first chapter sits down, and don't get me wrong, I've felt this way about many series that went on to be fantastic, but you're not supposed to sit down and go, that looked pretty cool. Yeah, I'll check out chapter 2 next week. That should not be your reaction. The author, the mangaka's job is to make you fucking go, I wish next week would come. From day one. When you hit the ground running, like, I haven't been this hyped since I read Dr. Stone chapter 1. Because Dr. Stone knew how to hit the ground running. But that's Boichi. Boichi knew how to do that with Sunken Rock too. They hit the ground running every time. Chapter 1, it's like one of the best chapters in the whole series. So if this ends up being one of the best chapters in the whole series, I won't be surprised. Because that's the job of chapter 1. You know? It's sort of like the, what do they call it? The 3-episode rule for a TV show. In the first 3 episodes, they got to sell you. Well, I would argue that if I'm not interested in the first episode, why the hell would I watch episodes 2 and 3? You know what I mean? Like, that being said, I always like to give everything a solid chance. I mean, like, I don't play by that rule. I say, watch a whole season. I know that's asking a lot. And I always say, read 50 chapters. That's always what I say. Because honestly, if you can't hold my interest for 50 chapters, which would be 1 year of manga, 1 year of manga, weekly manga, if I'm still not that interested, then it doesn't matter if you write the greatest fucking story of all time starting at chapter 51. You lost me because 50 chapters of meh. You know? So I give a wide berth. Some people say only 1 chapter, 3 chapters, 10 chapters, 1 arc, etc. Some people do the same thing with the episode. 1 episode rule, 3 episode rule, 5 episode rule. I'm the most generous person out there when it comes to that bullshit. 1 whole season, 50 whole chapters. But, like, I gotta be honest with you. Like, for example, My Hero Academia. The only thing that actually held my interest in the first 50 chapters was Stain. And he didn't last. So, you know, literally everything else was uninteresting up until the Endeavor Hawk stuff for me. Oh, Gentle. Gentle was cool. But yeah. So, the Hunter's Guild Red Hood is probably going to be one of the core series that I'm going to fall in love with very easily. Skin said, bro, are you joking? My Hero fans send death threats all the time. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. That's why I'm saying. No matter how terrible the Record of Ragnarok anime community is, they don't send death threats. So there is that silver lining, which shouldn't be considered. Caden said, when can the humans buy physical strength? Caden, I don't know what you're trying to say there. The humans by physical strength, Adam, Ryan. Oh, are you trying to rank them by physical strength? Adam, Raiden, Lubu, Kojiro, Jack. Sure. Yeah, that seems like a fair rating to me. Or a good tier list. Skin says, people love Kratos because he's badass and is angry in his character development and is a god killer. No, don't get me wrong. I don't mind Kratos. Kratos is a good character, but he's not so, like, I don't get why there's that big fan art of Kratos showing up and stuff in a manga panel. It's just like, out of all the people, really? I could name like 5 people on the top of my head waking up from a drunken stupor that are better. For example, how about Dracula? Seriously, How about motherfucking Dracula? We already have the son of Zeus in the form of Heracles. We're good. Skin said, Record of Ragnarok fandom versus Naruto or One Piece fandom. As a hater of Naruto, it's hard for me to gauge their fandom because I never listened to their fandom. The One Piece fandom can be toxic. They're one of the least... They're not nearly as toxic when it comes to things like being overrun by power scalers or being overrun by negativity and toxicity. But the Record of Ragnarok fandom was fine up until the anime. Like, I feel like we seriously need to separate, because the Record of Ragnarok, you know what? Here's how I'm going to separate it. There's the Shuumatsu no Valkyrie fandom, and then there's the Record of Ragnarok fandom. Manga, anime. Staying with me so far, ladies and gentlemen. Ragnarok sucks. That community sucks. Shuumatsu no Valkyrie's fandom is solid, and I would argue better than the big threes. So, but you can't be a hater in this community and then jump ship to Valkyrie. I'm not having it. You don't belong here. Let's see. Skin said, I'm praying it doesn't get canceled though. If it does, I'm going to be pissed and disappointed. Skin, go watch that. Go watch my video that I posted today, man. You'll love that video. Boom Bomber said, agreed. Skin said, would you rather watch one episode of Record of Ragnarok or watch the entire 4 seasons of 7 Deadly Sins? I would rather watch the entirety of Record of Ragnarok again than watch one episode of 7 Deadly Sins, the 4th season. Oh, wait. Episode 5, 13, and one other. I think it was episode 19. Those are solid episodes in the 4th. But still, so yeah. But I wouldn't want to watch the entirety. Oh, no. Barring a 3 or 4 episodes in the 4th season, I could probably get through again and enjoy. Because they were done well. Other than that, no. Listen, to do my reviews, I've already rewatched. You guys don't understand. I watched the whole thing in Japanese. I've watched the whole thing in English. And then I watched it all again, episode by episode, when I did my reviews. I've watched it 3 times. And guess what? If you watched my episode 1 review and you watched my episode 12 review, do you not see the smile on my face? I watched it 3 fucking times. And I still liked it. I still think it's solid. It's way better than people are giving it credit for. Jesus. Caden said, Record of Ragnarok's fandom will get crushed by Naruto and One Piece fandom. Probably. Miss said, Skinny literally watched the whole RR anime and enjoyed it. He did reviews for every episode. Yeah. Miss speaking the facts. Skin said, yeah, but like I know, Griever also loves 7 Deadly Sins, and one episode of Record of Ragnarok is worse than the whole... Whoa, what did you just say? What did you just say? One episode of Record of Ragnarok is worse than the whole season of 7 Deadly Sins? Skin, get out. Get out. Get out. That is an incorrect statement. That it's just an incorrect statement. It's false. It's not factual. It's 2 plus 2 has now equaled minus 376.2. It's so wrong that you added together to get a negative. That's how wrong you just sounded. Skin, that was the worst thing you have ever said on stream. I said, I'm quite upset that the greatest conquerors, such as Alexander the Great or Genghis Khan, aren't participating in the tournament. You know what? One of the reasons I also, honestly, Genghis Khan not so much, but Alexander the Great, I really wanted for the tournament as well. But the thing is, and I also wanted King Arthur, of course, and stuff like that. Then I realized that Record of Ragnarok was trying to get a little bit away from the Fate series. They already had Alexander the Great. They had King Arthur and stuff. And Fate is so popular and sort of... They wanted to move away. They wanted to use more unique things and sort of take a different approach, especially with the humans, right? So they were trying to do something different. So I understand why you'd like to see Alexander. I would too. I'd love to see King Arthur, Alexander the Great, Vlad, the Impaler. Who were some of the other ones that I really wish we had seen? Trying to think now. But there was a lot. There was a lot of good ones. Skin said, Record of Ragnarok uses Dracula at Netflix. No, Dracula's caught up in Castlevania business. I mean, not really the way it worked, but sure, funny enough. Skin said, no, the worst episode of Record of Ragnarok is worse than the entirety of the season. Yeah, you're wrong. Get out. What are you talking about? No. Skin. What episode are you talking about? Give me an episode. Give me an episode number. I'm serious right now. You give me, out of the 12 episodes of Record of Ragnarok, tell me which episode you want to complain about, and I will guarantee you it's better than the entirety of Season 4. It's better than Dragon's Judgment. Now, Natsu no Taizai, Dragon's Judgment is worse as a whole than every single episode of Record of Ragnarok on standalone. I will make that statement because it's correct. Skin said, on a whole, I 100% agree Record of Ragnarok is better than Seven Deadly Sins. Every episode is better than the anime of Seven Deadly Sins. What are you talking about? I said Skin Guy literally sees the Record of Ragnarok anime like an X-Arm. I mean, I guess so. Boom Bomber said ROR didn't want to be compared heavily with Fate, possibly. Exactly. See, that's why they didn't pull some of the more classic ones. They didn't do Sherlock Holmes. They didn't do Gilgamesh. They didn't do King Arthur. They didn't do Alexander the Great. They didn't do a lot of the more classic ones. They still took really popular characters, or people, historic figures, but they tried to sort of get away from anything that had ever been done before. You know what I mean? Caden said, out of all the episodes of Record of Ragnarok, my least favorite is when Poseidon gets cut into pieces. The last episode? Really? The last episode was that had the introduction of Heracles versus Jack. I like that episode. Skin said episode 8. Here's the deal, Skin. Here's the deal. You clearly didn't watch any of my episode reviews, so I'm going to lay down a little bit of math on you. 0.1215%. That's all I'm going to say. If you don't understand what that response means, I'm not explaining it here. Go check out episode 8 review. I'm not explaining it here, and I'm not going to engage that. Episode 8, 0.1215%. And it's not worse than anything I saw in Season 4. And if you remember, Skin, I reviewed both. I reviewed Season 2, 3, and 4 of Seven Deadly Sins, episode by episode on this entire channel, and I reviewed every episode of Record of Ragnarok on this channel. I've reviewed every single episode. I'm just telling you. Skin said every other episode of Record of Ragnarok is way better than Seven Deadly Sins. See, you, Skin, I like your Skin, but I'm going to tell you right now, man, once again, seriously, either I urge you one of two things. Either watch my review on episode 8 or take a math class. Those are the only two pieces of advice that I can give you right now. Those are the only two pieces of advice to convince you that episode 8 is actually one of the better episodes of Record of Ragnarok. It truly is. 0.1215. Wow. It's almost 11 p.m. and the chapter still has yet to drop. This is fantastic. This is absolutely, positively wonderful. Yo, Misk, if you're here and you're bored, we could jump into VC and chat for a while or something. I got nothing better going on. Just waiting. Skin said, I think episode 8 is better than all of 7 Deadly Sins. What I mean is, personally, I could not enjoy the fight. But the fight was really good. Okay, not really good, but it was good. Wait, but see, Skin, now you're backtracking. You said episode 8 is worse, and now you're saying, no, it's not. Now you're saying, like, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say, Skin. Originally, all right, let's clarify right now. Let's clarify. Skin, from what I read and what you were saying, regardless what you meant, was that episode 8 of Record of Ragnarok is worse than 7 Deadly Sins Season 4. That's what you said. If that's what you didn't mean or whatever, regardless, but that's what you said. And I said no. So now if you say that no, you say it is better than all 7 Deadly Sins. And then you say personally, like that, now you're backtracking. No backtrack on me. Hold your ground. Either hold your ground or just say, no, you know what, you're fucking right. I mean, hold your ground or, fight for that hill or don't, I don't know. Caden said, I'm specifically talking about the animation of him getting cut. They could have done better. Oh, actually, one of the worst things that I hated was the fact that they switched to the samurai sound and they didn't, it was perfect to have no OST at the time, but then for it to go silent and then just samurai music with 0 sound effects and 0 VA, I didn't like that. We could have had a really cool echo effect of Poseidon's arm getting cut off and then the cling of the trident and then the fling of him picking it back up and all this stuff, and the blood coming from crushing his own arm, that should have been handled better by the sound department, but yeah. Skin said, because of the slideshow, and I know 0.1215% does not make an anime, but I'm sorry, I can't forgive that, and that is versus Zeus of all fights. You don't have to, but you can't take it away that you can't judge an entire episode based on 21 seconds. I'm sorry. 21 seconds is irrelevant at the end of the day. I know it sucks. I took away a whole point off of my rating. Actually, I think I took 2. I think I took 2 whole points, which honestly, in any general rating system, is unjust. But I took away a whole 2 points off of my rating and enjoyment of the episode based on that. But people were hyping this shit up to be like it was the worst thing since sliced, that before sliced bread and before we invented fire. And I went into this going, oh my god, is this going to be the worst thing I've ever seen? And it honestly was not. So, I've seen worse. So yeah. If you don't want to forgive it, whatever, but at the end of the day, it's not worse. Sorry. Escanor versus Meliodas, that was worse. That was worse than anything. Haley said, hey, Griever! Hey, Haley, how you doing? Skin said, no, I always meant in my personal opinion it's worse, but besides... Wait. I meant in my personal opinion it's worse, but my opinion is it is better. Now I'm just confused. You have 2 opinions? I don't know. Skin said, bad wording on my part, sorry. Okay, yeah, at least, yeah, you're sorry, okay. Because, yeah, the wording is confusing me, Skin. I think I sort of am grasping what you're trying to say, but it's just not coming across. Dragon Trade said, yo. Skin said, I'm not going to let my personal opinion overtake the facts, and the fact is Adam versus Zeus is better, so that's what I meant. Sorry if it took it the wrong way. Okay, so your personal opinion overtake the facts, and the fact is Zeus is better. Okay, now... Yeah, alright, I get what you're saying now, and that's fine. If you are extremely upset by the PowerPoint presentation for 21 seconds in the Adam vs. Zeus fight, it's fine. You can be upset. And you said that you judged it accordingly, but you're going to let the personal not affect the professional sort of mentality. I respect that. Perfect. Fine, Andy. Got what you're meaning now. Dragon said, who said, yo, says, if we're talking about the anime with the budget, Netflix and the anime should have been way better. You know, let me tell you guys a little story. Why does everybody think just because Netflix as a streaming service means quality? Just curious about that. You know what type of shit that Netflix has produced in the last decade? You know what type of crap, bad shows, pickups from series that should have been canceled anyways, and they pick it up from Fox and CBS and Global and all these other stations? You know what type of crap that Netflix has? Netflix is not gold, guys. Netflix is not... You guys seem to think that Netflix, it's amazing. Like, no. It's not the way it works. Look at what happened when Disney got a hold of Star Wars. Look what happened, right? Very little good came out of that for over a decade, right? Look at when EA got a hold of Star Wars. Horrendous things happened to that video game franchise. I really want people to stop correlating Netflix, which is just the guy who buys it, and the ones who actually, like, yeah. People need to stop doing that shit. You know how much shitty crap is on Netflix and Netflix originals? Netflix isn't a license to print the best shit. They aren't Studio Madhouse, guys. They aren't Studio Bones. Netflix does not mean automatically Demon Slayer every fucking time. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean Avengers, Infinity War every fucking time. It doesn't mean these things. People started correlating Netflix like... Fuck. I get so irritated at that shit. We need that Invincible meme. Think! You know, that meme. Up. Skin said, but personally, I can't rate it the episode higher than a 7. I rated it an 8, but a 7 is a fair rating. Boom Bomber said, I hope that the Blu-ray of the anime will be fleshed out a bit more and include sounds during the conclusion of Fight 3. I mean, maybe they'll go back and change it, guys. How many times did George Lucas fuck with the original Star Wars series? I'm sure there's a possibility, right? Skin said, hot take. Deku in My Hero has become way too overpowered. Yes. Imagine being a second year and being top 4, possibly top 3 in the verse. That is ridiculous. This kid can already beat majority of the pros. I mean, at the end of the day, My Hero Academia's power structuring was always weird, and he was always given the he was given the Superman card from day one, which is why I never liked Deku to begin with. So it doesn't really bother me, honestly. Dragon just said there are good shows with great animation too on Netflix. I could name some. Castlevania, Yasaka. No, see, Dragon, you're taking it as an insult. You're taking it as an offense. Which, are you out of the penalty box yet? I think you are. I think you're officially, yeah, as of like an hour ago or something, you're out of the penalty box. So, okay, we're on an even keel. Now you're not in the penalty box anymore, Dragon's Rage. But yeah, so, I'm not saying that. But just because it's Netflix original, you guys you're treating it like, oh my god, 7 Deadly Sins Season 1, Castlevania, and a handful of others fucking hit the ground running. You know how many shows Fox produced? Or Global? You know how many fucking shows networks have produced over thousands? They're not all Golden Globe winners either. But do you all of a sudden, I'm not going to watch Fox Channel anymore. I'm not going to watch CBS anymore. I'm not watching fucking this anymore. No, you're not. You know why? Because for every shitty cop show, there's something like really truly special. Like, I don't know, there's the Sherlock show, there's Castle, there's Law and Orders and stuff when it first came out and stuff like that. Like, there's all these really fantastic cop shows, right? And then you have comedy. There's every comedy. Comedy Central. Is every single thing on Comedy Central great? Fuck no. No, it's not. But then, once in a while, you get something like Friends, Seinfeld, Big Bang Theory. We're not going to talk about How You Met Your Mother. That was a terrible show. But you see what I'm saying. Frasier, Cheers, all these shows. Like, not everything is going to be Seinfeld or Friends. Not everything is going to be Castlevania or Demon Slayer. Not everything is going to be Avengers Infinity War. You guys have to stop acting as though just because it's one name on it, it's going to be gold. Potentially, it should be good. But once again, Record Ragnarok was good. It wasn't bad. And I'm sick and tired of people telling me it was bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the greatest thing. It wasn't amazing. It could have been better. But I could say the same thing about literally the story. Demon Slayer, for example, is only considered so great because of the animation. Same with One Punch Man. One Punch Man, not the best story in the world. I said it. Demon Slayer, basic storytelling. Basic. That's Harry Potter level storytelling. Harry Potter, not the greatest story ever written. Not really that good. From a writing standpoint, he said, she said, here's what they did. He said, she said, the most basic. J.K. Rowling is not a great writer. She created a fantastic world building, not a great writer. Sorry, she's not. She's not Martin. She's not Tolkien. She's not Shakespeare. She's so many leagues down, you wouldn't even put her in the tier maker when it comes to actual writing. R.A. Salvatore is a better writer than J.K. Rowling. But J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter. Didn't write it well, but wrote it. And the story and the characters suited so many people. The world building was solid. You know, like, it's just, I'm sick and tired of everyone saying that, like, one name means gold. You know, Sylvester Stallone, Robert De Niro has bad films, guys. Al Pacino has made bad films. Tom Hanks has made bad films. Let's stop pretending that the moment you say it's Lionsgate, it's Marvel, it's fucking Tom Hanks, it's all this shit, that it's going to be great. Sorry, it's not. There is no golden formula that the moment you add, I'm going to add Ron Perlman and Clint Eastwood to this movie and it's going to be the greatest thing of all time. Guess what? If it was that fucking easy, you don't think that Clint Eastwood and Meryl Streep would be cast in every fucking movie ever? If you thought it was that easy, it's not. There's no golden formula. Every studio has made a bad film. Every production company has produced something bad. But what I'm saying is, Record Ragnarok is not bad. Skin said, my hero has been kind of meh as of late, to be honest. Yeah, sort of. But not bad, though. The thing about My Hero is when they're in school, it's boring as fuck, and they talk about Bakugo, Deku, and Todoroki, like, talk about other characters. Honestly, I like Todoroki more than Deku and Bakugo, so they're just very weak versions of other characters, so. Skin said, the worst thing is when you make a boring main trio and then force the audience to spend all your time with them. Naruto? Anybody? Boom Bomber said, Netflix is just a buyer of the license to show it and to have the streaming service. Thank you, Boom. Love ya. Caden said, Netflix is going to remake Avatar The Last Airbender. I do not have high hopes for that series. I think it's supposed to live action too. Once again, Netflix is the money. They're not doing it. Let's just be clear. Netflix they were a DVD rental service. They are the money guys. They're not the makers. You know? Like, seriously. Skin said, but to clarify my point, finally, I think Adam vs. Zeus is better than the entirety of the 7 since Season 4, and that's a fact, but my personal opinion, it's not higher than a 7. Just my opinion, though. Fine Dandy, if you want to rate it a 7, I would still argue that is a fair rating for the episode. Episode 8, 7 out of 10, fine Dandy, that's a fair rating, and yeah, okay, cool. Boom says, to be honest, my hero could have been better if Deku became a similar character to Batman. Thank you, Boom! God, where's Tokyo when you need him from Mist Discord? He would love this conversation. He already had an encyclopedia of every major hero in his mind. Why couldn't he just be able to quirkless and use his mind? That's what I wanted. Instead, he was handed, here you go, be Superman. But by the way, shit, we're in a manga and we have to have this go for 400 chapters. So, by the way, here's the power of Superman. But ho 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 ho, you're not strong enough to use it yet, Sonny Jim. What a boring fucking premise I've ever heard in my life. Boom said to gain an advantage on the others in his class. That's right. Skin said, and everyone would call it a flawless masterpiece. Who would call it a flawless masterpiece? Who? There is about 5 in existence. Lord of the Rings being one of them. Skin said, no, TV shows and movies are perfect because they are made by people and people are not perfect. Exactly. Kane said, I don't know. I still don't know how Ron and Hermione got together because reasons. See, that's what I'm saying. J.K. Rowling wrote a fantastical world that was easily accepted by children, wizards, and warlocks, and all these fantastical things. Honestly, it's basically the Toriko for kids. Because it was just like, you don't need to understand. There's a house made of candy, and he eats it. It's wonderful. It doesn't have to make logistic sense. It's crazy. You know, J.K. Rowling took on fairy tales and the hearts of kids and decided to write this. And don't get me wrong, she did a fantastic job at doing that, and I'm not, like, penalizing her for it. I'm just saying she wasn't really that great a writer, and the books are actually sort of hard. Like, I'll put it to you this way. 50 Shades of Grey, Twilight, and I'm trying to think of something else that people don't like. Whatever other book series. Better written books. Might not be as good as Harry Potter. Like, Harry Potter's better than Twilight. Harry Potter's better than 50 Shades of Grey. My personal opinion, but I think that's universally accepted. Better story, better characters, better everything. But Stephanie Meyer is a better writer, who wrote Twilight, is a better writer than J.K. Rowling. Like, legitimately, I've read all these books multiple times. I own them all. I'm telling you, they're written better. You know, when you take away the context, you just read the writing style, you understand that this is what we were taught in 3rd grade. He said, she said, paragraph what they did. He said, she said, paragraph what they did. It's not clever. It's not complicated. It's not diverse. It's very basic. It's script writing. It was a script turned into a book. It's the most basic writing I've ever seen in my life. So, once again, not a great writer, made a fantastic story. You can be a great storyteller and not be a good writer. Just like a great writer can be a terrible artist. That's why some collaborations happen. That's why you have an artist and a mangaka, right? Dragon Trade said, I only hope that they improve on season 2. And they will if people stop bashing the fucking thing. Dragon Trade's definitely... You watched my video. You know what I'm talking about. Kane said it always confused me. Yeah, it confused me too, honestly. Skin said, in the books it's more explained on, but even then it's not all that. Yeah, it is explained on in the books better than the movies. But in the end, seriously, Hermione and Harry made more sense. To be fair, Ginny came out of fucking nowhere. Dragon said, Deco had to train before All Might gave him the power, so it didn't destroy his body, so he did technically work for the power. That's such a weak excuse. Somebody dangles a carrot over you by a string, like the fucking, the rabbit with the carrot thing, and says, hey, listen, it's sort of like people that get in shape for a movie. Like Nick Jonas or fucking Justin Bieber or any of these fucking guys that got abs and everyone's like, oh my god, it's like, yeah, he can pay a UFC fighter to fucking kick his ass out of bed in the morning and train his ass. He can pay for it and doesn't need to go to work. I have a day job. I have chores to do. Justin Bieber and Nick Jonas, they have people who take care of their house for them. They don't cook for themselves. They don't clean. They don't mow the lawn. They don't do any of that bullshit, right? I got responsibilities. I have things to take care of. I don't have time for that, right? So when I get a 6-pack, which I'm right now down to a 2-pack, honestly, guys. COVID sort of hurt me. But when I'm down to that shit, it's sort of like, well, nobody's impressed. But, like, you know what I mean? If somebody were to hold the power of Superman and just say, work out for 6 months and I'll give you the power of fucking Superman, I'd quit my job right now. I would call my boss and say, I'm quitting. If someone dangled the power of Superman in front of me and said, 6 months, you have to be as strong as possible, the only thing I'd be doing would be drinking kale shakes and working out. That's all I would do. This house would be filthy. It'd be disgusting. My lawn would be overgrown and I'd get the city calling me, fining me for not mowing my lawn. My truck would probably rust in the driveway. Like, that's not good storytelling. That's not, yeah, it's great motivation, but the dude should have been working at, I'm not impressed by that because anybody who wouldn't go that far for it is a complete fucking idiot. It's not impressive. It doesn't show character development. Anybody who got Superman's powers dangled in front of them and didn't work hard or as hard or harder than Deku did, it's just an idiot. So it doesn't make Deku impressive. It makes anybody who wouldn't go that far a moron. And sorry, I'm not impressed by morons, guys. Like, Jesus. Here, it's like all those memes, guys. Like on Facebook and Twitter and shit. $2 million, would you slap your best friend in the face? $2 million, would you do this? $10 million, would you do that, you know? That's all. That's what the premise of My Hero Academia is. It's the $2 million meme. It's the $2 million to do X. That's what All Might gave Deku. It was a meme. That's what's so fucking sad. My Hero Academia is not a bad manga. Horikoshi is not a bad artist, nor a bad writer. But his premise was X-Men mixed with DC, and it was bad. Just saying. Caden said, have you noticed that all the fairy tales stores Disney gave us, the originals, are way more fucked up? Yeah, because they take the German ones and they turn them into actual nice fairy tales for children. Which I never minded as a kid. I still love all the Disney films. Skin said, I can never respect Deku the same way I respect Batman. No, nobody could. Skin said, and even then, All Might's reasoning for choosing Deku over Mirio was trash. Yeah, it was really bad. Eric is in here saying, hey, what's going on? Hello, Eric. How you doing? Missed Content says, geez, I'm going to have to do a 1 a.m. review at this rate. I know, right? Dragon said, not saying it's perfect. I mean, yeah, no, it's like the premise is absolute garbage. Boom Bomber said, going down the Batman path with Deku would have been so much better story-wise, to be honest. It would have, and I've argued that every time. Caden said, Deku went from being a crybaby to being the king of emo. Yeah, like, it was not, like, Deku is not a great character. Skin said, I could slap Stephen King's name on How I Met Your Mother and everyone would call it a flawless masterpiece. That's what I'm saying. People are doing the same thing with Record of Ragnarok, saying, oh, it was Netflix. It should have been so much better. And it's just like, well, slapping the name on something does not necessarily mean shit. Look at Star Wars. Have you guys seen the sequels? You know, slapping the name Star Wars should be the license to print money. And it is, but it doesn't mean it's quality. Dragon's Rage said, current manga Deku is the best. Current manga Deku is an emo teenager. What are you talking about? Deku has improved, but he's not a great character. He went from a bad character to an okay character. He was a bad character that got everything handed to him, and for someone who's supposed to be Batman level intellect with his mind, had fucking 100 chapters to figure out maybe I can use my legs instead of my fists? I don't buy that shit. Yeah, Skin says it properly, saying, yeah, like, what was the point of making him a secret genius, then giving him the power of a little god? Right, exactly. They told him he was quirkless. That should have been the storyline. Him trying to be the best that ever was, the Ash Ketchum sort of Pokemon phrase, while being quirkless. Better story. Caden said Stephen King was on way too much drugs when he was creating some of his books. Oh, hell yeah. You know that. You know that for a fact, Caden. You know that for a fact. So guys, it's been an hour and 14 minutes, and literally I am officially Well, I gotta take a break. I gotta take a quick break. Fuck, it's hot as balls in here. I don't know how hot balls are, but I imagine they're pretty fucking hot. Maury Dan said, I thought Beelzebub was from Christianity, so where is he from? He is from Christianity. Or he's biblical. Beelzebub is considered either an alternate name for the devil, Satan, Lucifer, etc., or he is also considered one of the seven crown princes of hell, also known as the Lord of Flies. So it depends on the interpretation record of Ragnarok, which always surprises us with how they interpret the gods and the humans alike. It's going to be very interesting on how they interpret Beelzebub, which is why it's my most anticipated god. Dragon Church said, yeah, figuring out he had legs thing was unintentionally funny. Like, it was very funny. Skin said, seeing a quirkless boy rise in here society with just his mind and intellect would have been great. I think it would have made a far better story. Beth, I don't know how to say the rest of that, but Beth sent me a crab emoji. Okay. Hi, Beth. Crab emoji. Yeah. More of a lobster guy myself, as I live in Nova Scotia, where the greatest lobster in the world are fished and harvested, but more of a lobster guy, but sure. Boom Bomber said agreed. Skin said Griever needs that fan action going on. I mean, a little bit. I mean, it's not that bad. Like, I could turn, see, I'm just cheap. I got Scottish blood in my veins, guys. I'm just cheap. I don't touch the thermostat. I've set my thermostat. It stays the same all year, and it does not fucking change. So, that's just the way it is. And I have a fan in my bedroom, so I turn the fan on, even with the air conditioning, when I go to bed and shit like that. But for the most part, yeah, no. I'm cheap like that. Maury Dan said, but if he is a demon, why is he considered a god? Exactly my point. So he's probably not considered one of the seven crown princes of hell, like the Lord of Flies. He's probably considered the god, the king of hell, the god of hell. He's probably the Christian version of the devil, of Satan, of Lucifer, the first archangel ever. That's what he's considered. And I'm hoping for that, because I really want to see what they do with that. I think it'd be so cool. So that's why they're going with that. I think it'll be really cool. But yeah, so chat, keep moving, and I'll be right back. I just need to blow my nose because I'm starting to get stuffed up and shit. Grab some more beer, take a piss break, etc., and we will be right back. And hopefully this goddamn chapter comes out soon. Jesus, this is insane. All right, be right back. Well, hello, I'm back. So, let's see what people are saying. Mordan has a message retracted. That is so sad, Mordan. And also, once again, I don't know how to say the other part of the name, but I found out that you just recently subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much for the subscription. Skin said, people have a cool design does not make you a better character. You might hear a stance, need to relax. Yeah, like, everybody got pumped for it, and don't get me wrong, great artwork and great style. Finally, Deku actually looks like a cool MC, but that doesn't make his character any better. That's just a fact. Boom Bomber says, and considering the last chapter, Power of Friendship much? Boom Bomber said, plot twist, Beelzebub is Hades. I said, Boom, you were in here when I said that. I said that. Come on, man, I said that. Skin said, just because Deku's design has gotten cooler designs late, they think he's a better character. Misk said, well, I'm bored, want to chat in VC? Sure. Why not? I'm just going to sit here and wait, and eventually I'm either going to run out of beer or have to go to bed. So one thing or the other. Whichever comes first, Misk. So why not? Yeah, sure. Do you want me to jump into yours? I'll just jump into yours. Skin said, so, like, are we going to react to the chapter at 5 a.m.? When is it going to come out? You know what? The ironic thing is, Skin, is that I said to Vib, because apparently the chapter is supposed to go 5 a.m. my time, which is what the last chapter did. That's why I did a review, not a stream, was because it came out at 5 a.m. my time on Sunday. I had to go to work, well, on Monday. And I had to go to work Monday morning, and I worked all day, and then I had to do other shit. So I just said, fuck it, all I can do is a review, like, it's too late. So I said the same thing to Vib, who's part of the team, and he told me, he said, oh yeah, I'll probably come out actually 5 or 6. I'm sorry about that. I'd like to delay it for you, but I'm not going to. And I was like, all right, at least you're honest. And then no response. And I was like, oh, things are happening. So crazy, actually. Katie said, Miss, he already asked you that like a few minutes ago. You probably weren't there. Probably not. Eric said, is chapter 48 already out in English? No, it is not, and that's why we're waiting around. Anyway, I'm jumping into the VC, the streaming one, for Misk's Discord, and yeah, Misk and I will chat because Misk is bored. I feel bad for Misk. Actually, that's the reason I did this whole stream, because I was fucking bored. I've been literally, other than going to work, I went to work in the morning and then I came back here, and I've literally, other than like cooking supper, I've been waiting around all day. I did do one load of laundry, but other than doing one load of laundry and cooking supper, I have been waiting around for this chapter all day, and I assumed that this chapter was coming out at 5 in the morning, so crazy. Oh, Misk is in here. Hey, Misk. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'd be doing better if this chapter was already out, so I could do my review.
Yeah, no shit, eh? Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
If only I could read kanji. There are some people that have the jump on me when it comes to reviewing, like Kengan, because they can read kanji. So they can get a review out at least like half an hour before I can.
Yeah, and people will always get that jump, and that's what I was just telling this chat, that's what was ironic about today, was that Vib said, like, oh, it'll probably come out about 5 a.m. your time, and I'm like, well, fuck, I gotta go to work in the morning, so I'm not
Yeah,
gonna be
and
getting...
apparently it turned out there were a lot of redraws that needed to be done, which
Which,
maybe I should take a look at the chapter again, because I look at Roz, but in hindsight, I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, that probably did need quite a bit of redrawing.
well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, if the redraws are taking actually this long, there must have been quite a bit of redrawing, like, that was required, Or maybe
Yeah,
they're gonna,
because
maybe they're
if I
trying to...
understand right,
Sorry.
most of the redrawing is for when they translate kanji that's not in a text box.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to redraw the panel so it's not just text over kanji,
Mm-hmm.
which some other series, like, a long time ago used to do, or series that don't have redrawers have to do, and it doesn't look good. So that takes a bit of time. They need to find people for the translation team that can do that.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like we got a few so far at least.
Right. Absolutely, yeah. So, I know you won't spoil me, so that's all good. But I'm actually really excited. What I'm actually thinking now, Vib has not confirmed this for me, but I'm thinking that potentially Maybe they're trying to drop a double for the first time, and that's why it's taking so long.
I have no idea. Maybe they are.
Yeah, maybe like when they drop 48, 49 will literally be dropped at the same time, and maybe that's why it's taken so long. I don't know. Once again, just so everybody is clear on the stream, hi stream. The thing is that we're not begrudging these guys because they work their asses off. Demi and Vib and all these people, they work their asses off to get us this shit as quick as possible when the Raws drop. So we're just so pumped up. We're just so anticipating what's going to happen. We really want to read the chapter and stuff. That's all. It's passion, not arrogance. Just so we're clear.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they are. I mean, I think Vib said the reason that they dropped them separately is because they just do the first chapter first and then drop it and then go on to the second.
Right. So I'm assuming that's the case here, and maybe chapter 48 just had a lot of pages. Which, once again, the longer it takes, it probably means the more pages, potentially the more redraws, potentially the more shit. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay. Do you care if I tell you what the page count is for the chapters?
No, I don't care. What are the page counts?
Okay, so chapter 48 is 38 pages. Chapter
Ooh.
49 is 26 pages. Wait, no, I think
Ooh.
it's more. No, it's 26 pages. So you're getting about, oh, if we round up, you're getting like 70 pages this month.
I mean, it was a double chapter, anyways. So
Yeah, so they basically just, we got a regular length chapter and then a slightly shorter length chapter after.
yeah, I feel like because I've read like 66-page chapters of Valkyrie before, it's sort of like why? You know, like why split?
Volume really? I don't know what they do.
Maybe that's why they did it.
Or it's for pacing, I guess, because maybe having all of this in one big chapter would be a little weird.
That's true too. I mean, like there's probably something big that happens, of course, and et cetera, et cetera. But I'm just actually I was expecting more like a 41 and maybe like a 49. I was expecting like to get
I
like 80, 90 pages. So 70 is not bad though. It's still going to be 70 pages of
maybe like
Shuumatsu no Valkyrie this month. So I'm good with that. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
we're still getting it all at the same time. It's not like they gave us a 20-page chapter and then we're like, see you next month.
Mm, exactly. So just really quick, just going to jump back into the chat, which is a lot easier to deal with than yours, Misk. um,
Oh
uh,
God, is it?
Boom said, my bad, Griever. Yeah, Boom, you were in here when I said that maybe Hades is Beelzebub. Maybe Hades is King Yema. Maybe Hades is Lucifer. And maybe there Beelzebub is all the kings of hell at once. It'd be fantastic. So yeah, you heard that, Boom. Don't kid yourself. Caden said Kid Rock was before his time. Who, my time? I'm old as fuck. What are you talking about? Skin said, why does Misk sound like he's been up for the last week? Yeah, Misk always sounds like that.
That's what my voice sounds like, especially when it's 10:30. I've been waiting to do this video all day.
It's true. And
Still
actually,
waiting.
and Misk sounds a lot, for those of you who don't know, Misk is only 18 years old. He sounds like he's about 23. So,
It's true.
mm-hmm. Dragon said, oh yeah, I'm not in the panel box anymore. Woo. Yeah, for that shit you pulled in Tokyo Ghoul stream on Misk and me, you were
I
in that penalty
still
box for 3
don't
days.
understand.
I
I
don't
still don't
I don't
understand.
get how he got like 3 or 4 people on his side without messaging them. Like that's the creepy part.
Unless there's something I literally don't remember from Tokyo Ghoul Part 1, I have no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, Jack's mom is that. No. We're not getting into it. We're not getting into that.
By the
Because
way, hi band, how are you doing?
oh, Ben's in here. Hi, Ben.
Band,
Yeah,
band, are you going to say anything? I can't.
apparently not. Though I love his new. I love his new avatar that he's
He's
got.
got Yukaku.
Yeah, he's got a Kaku, and that suits Ben so well. He's such an
Yeah.
Akaku. That works. Dragon Chase also said has been racked with
He's
guilt
been racked with guilt.
for leaving Griever on that cliffhanger in Tokyo Ghoul. And yeah, exactly.
Okay, but it went into it. Maybe we should end it on chapter 68. I don't know. I thought the narration was really fucking cool for chapter 69, so I figured you should at
Actually,
least read
the
that.
best time to end it, I would argue, would probably been, I think it was chapter 63 when he finally went.
Yeah, I was thinking originally 63 was a good stopping point, but if we were
Yeah,
gonna do a long haul, it would have been 68 or 69.
yeah, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed all the chapters since, but yeah, there was multiple good stopping points in like there was 4 chapters in the 60s that you could have stopped at, and it would have been like that's a good stopping point. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
because it's been every chapter seems to end on such a like a banger note in the 60s. I think some of my favorite points of Tokyo Ghoul happens between like chapter 60 and 69. Like every chapter is so good. Um,
Yeah. So in the not last stream, but the previous stream, you said you think that Tokyo Ghoul may be breaking into your top 30. Did the last stream help with that? Is
yeah,
that
I would say it's definitely a contender in the top 30. I don't want to hype things up too much because my top 30 list changes a lot, especially when like if I were to go back and I was to rewatch like an anime from like 1999, the nostalgia would automatically boost it from like 17th up to 11th, you know, that kind of shit because I recently watched it, that kind of crap, right? So overall, I would say it's in my top 30, but it's probably between 30 and 25. So let's not go too crazy, people. It's not like it broke top 10 or anything. But it's definitely it's a contender because I mean I axed out Trigun and Helsing out of my top 30 just for a little bit of background on that, and those are very good mangas. So yeah, let's just keep it low key for right now. But when I finally do, I'm glad I'm doing Tokyo Ghoul now because when I finally do that top 30 list, I feel like it's going to be more legitimate now that I've caught up with Jujutsu Kaisen. Now that I'm reading Tokyo Ghoul and stuff, I feel like even though I've read a lot of manga over the years, I feel like I'm broadening even further, and it's going to make my list more concrete and more solidified. So that's great. Really enjoying that set. Sun Eater is in here. Hey, Sun Eater says would remakeable.
Remarkable Republican do a Record of Ragnarok video? No, he doesn't strike me as the type of guy to watch anime or read.
Oh,
That was the
really?
guy that did the Star Wars video. We
Oh, right. Yeah, that would be abysmal, and I wouldn't want to see it anyways.
does not strike me as the type.
Nope. Dragon Trade said
Also, I don't
Buddhist.
know if you know this, but Orang Scans, the website is down right now, but I heard it's because they have to update it. I assume that's something to prepare for adding the new chapter.
Maybe. So we might get it. And I don't know about you, Misk, but like if the chapter drops, are you feeling like staying on, or are you just gonna let me do my thing and then you're gonna go do your video, or like if it dropped in the
Mm,
next 5 minutes?
I, hmm, I'm not sure.
All right.
If it drops soon enough, I may dip out to do my video and then come back because I'd
Sure.
rather do it as soon as possible than do it at 1 in the morning because I did that once before and it was fucking exhausting.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. You and I have both been exhausted for the past 2 weeks, man. We've been pushing out content like fucking madmen, and I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you make a 7 minute video or a 75 minute video. It's exhausting to make multiple videos. I don't care how long they are, like multiple times a day. It's exhausting. Like I don't care who you are. So, but yeah. So you do whatever you want. You just let me know. Um, Dragon's Rage said, "Buddha stands unite." I mean, once again, see, I think Zero Fuku has a better reason. Like, I'm sorry, his backstory is so fucking good, and the humanity deserves to die if nothing for nothing else than Zero Fuku's backstory has proven that humanity are terrible fucking people. Okay. And Zero Fuku couldn't be Heracles. There's only one Heracles. I'm sorry. He couldn't stand above it. I'm sorry. Dragons just said, are there any Zero Fuku stands in the chat? You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm at Zero Fuku stand. Fuck it.
Well, there we have it, folks. The resident Zarafuku stand.
Mm-hmm.
The OC fighter in our mythological figure manga.
That's right, and I'm gonna support him. You know why? Because he's justified as fuck. Once again, I don't agree with everything that's going on, but like he's justified. He's justified.
That's still so funny that they got the figurehead of one of the biggest religions in the world, and they were like, "Who should we have fight him? How about an OC?" There we go.
Yeah,
That's still funny to me.
yeah, like because they combined multitude of gods into one god to an OC god, like
Yeah.
crazy, you know. I actually do like that. Joseph, who actually was very very civil on my latest video, Miss. Did you get a chance to watch that rant video yet, Miss?
I did. It was very good.
Oh, good, good. So when I called everybody, I told you I pulled that age card.
Oh God, you did banned. You're alive. Oh my
Oh,
God.
Ban's alive.
What's up?
Not much. We're waiting for the new Record of Ragnarok chapter to drop. I have no idea how long we're gonna be waiting for. If it's anything like last month, it'll drop at 3 in the morning, and by the time I wake up, everyone else will have done a review by then.
Yeah, and that's gonna happen to me too because I have to go to work in the morning. Sucks. Sucks.
Mm.
I mean, I'm working from home. Thankfully, I managed to bow out of work because I figured I had this like gut feeling, like this intuition. I had my spidey senses were tingling, and I knew that something was gonna happen. So I managed to convince to move my Wednesday stay at home shit to Tuesday, and then I'll go into actual work on Wednesday. So I sort of swap shifts, sort of idea, the long and short of it. So, but yeah, let's see. Let's see. Since Band's thing, like Band, I love you, man, but you need a better microphone. We all gotta pitch in once he gets his webtoon going. We all gotta get
His
that, man.
mic is so inconsistent. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
and he's constantly talking, and you can't hear him very well, and it's so bad because Band is one of the only people I like on your server, miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just fooling around, but Joseph. So yeah, so going back to Joseph, who once again, who was on, he's commented on many of my videos before. Hello, Joseph. He says, if you're planning to read the new chapter at like past midnight, I don't think I'll be able to be here. Sorry, but I like my sleep. No problem. You do you. Misk and I might have to end up pulling the same fucking thing. So don't feel bad. Skin said, would you prefer Buddha or Zirafuku win this fight? Though we all know Buddha will. I would prefer an ending where neither one dies. I don't actually care what the outcome is, because the outcome realistically for the next round becomes irrelevant, because you already know what I'm talking about with the Shiva fight and how Shiva had to win. From a writing standpoint at this point, it doesn't actually matter who takes the W. I just want good character writing at this point
Indeed.
Between Buddha and Zirafuku. I need good character writing. That matters more than who wins the fight for me. So, yeah, that might be a non-answer, but that's how I feel. Caden said Jack's mom is horrible in Tokyo Ghoul and in Record of Ragnarok. Caden,
Jack's mom does a crossover?
Apparently, they're considering what I'm imagining here is they're comparing Jack's mom to Kanaki's mom.
Kanaki's mom.
And no, we're not doing that. And we got a bunch of retracted messages for some reason. Then we have Caden, 63 or 64 would have been the best chapter to stop at, in my personal opinion. I agree that would have been a better stopping point, but what Misk was trying to do, because he knows my favorite character is Yoshimura, he wanted me to see that he was a badass, that he's the owl, he's the most dangerous fucker alive, and he knew that I would be hyped as fuck to see it. And I was, so I appreciate Misk for doing that. So,
Skin, I'm going to remove that comment for the point of potential subtle spoilers. I'm not gonna just fucking watch a Tokyo Ghoul video. I'm reading through it. I don't want to be spoiled before I get to things, so I'm just gonna. I need to finish read. I've made it my new, my iPad read through. I read other stuff. I'm reading Berserk on my computer, so I do that most of the time. And then when I'm doing other stuff, I'll like pull up on my iPad and read through it.
and you need to get back to Toriko.
Don't tell me to watch a video that will have spoilers instead of just continuing to read the manga.
And you need to get back to Toriko, motherfucker.
Yeah, and I need to get back to Toriko too.
Toriko only gets better, and it's got one of the only acceptable shonen, though rushed, like every shonen ever.
Of course.
One of the only most acceptable shonen endings I've ever read. It didn't feel, because I didn't know, because I was reading Toriko at the time, but I got into Toriko very late. So when a lot of people were complaining about the rushes, and when I went back, and I can't really explain to you right now, Miss, when I went back and I saw why people thought it was rushed and yada yada, I understood. I got their complaints going back, but at the time I was just like, it didn't feel rushed. It was not a Bleach. It was not a Naruto. It wasn't a, you know what I mean? It didn't have that
Yeah,
rushed
didn't have
feeling.
any of the sudden random bullshit happening in the last
Yeah,
20 chapters.
no, the final battle is some of my favorite parts of Toriko. So, yeah,
Well,
because
that's good.
yeah,
I'm
like
excited.
it really is. Like just the culmination of everything. All of your favorite characters are involved in some way, and it's just it's a good time. It's a good time. Dragon's Rage said trolling Miska and Griever at the same time is my greatest achievement. And you were in the penalty box for 3 days. Was it worth it? He's gonna say yes.
I'm sure for him it was.
Yeah. Skin said opinions on this whole mini Maki arc. It was really good, and people need to stop complaining about it. It was
Yeah,
literally
I agree.
really good. Honestly, I like that shit better than a lot of the Shibuya arc fucking chapters. So some of those chapters were boring. Not when Nanami was involved, of course. Nanami is amazing,
Of
but
course.
there were some actual draws when it came to the Shibuya, and I think the only reason I didn't recognize it at the time is because I had the opportunity to binge read them on stream. So, but from a chapter to chapter basis, I've found that ever since the Shibuya arc ended and when I finally got caught up, every chapter has been exciting. But when I went back and I was rereading a few parts of Shibuya, I realized some of these chapters were kind of like nothing really happened. Like it was setting up because we were always, as you know, Misk, we were always jumping back in time or jumping forward in time or jumping back in time. So it's just like we get hyped in chapter 131 for this thing, then it's like, oh no, now it's 11:31 p.m. and now we're going back in time with a new group of characters. I'm like, would you fuck off? I want to know what happens with the exciting shit. So I can understand on a week to week basis how I would have been sort of hit and miss with the Shibuya arc, honestly.
Mm,
But that's just me. But you like the Maki arc, don't you, Miss?
I did. It was very satisfying and fucking cool. Badass.
Yeah, I agree. Um, so Caden said, I would love to see Hephaestus in Record of Ragnarok, my least favorite. You spelled favorite wrong, Dragon. You're in the penalty, or Caden. Sorry. Oh, it's not Dragon, it's Caden. So you're not in the penalty box. Ooh, close. My least favorite god of any pantheon is Aphrodite. Listen, it's the only titties we're getting in this series. I'm not going to complain.
It's true.
And they are
Oh,
fantastic
actual
titties.
actual mythological Aphrodite is like a huge fucking psychopath.
Yeah, she's
Arguably worse
nuts.
than most of the other people in the pantheon.
Yeah, her and Hera are the two most psychotic gods, and they're the goddesses, but they're worse than any of the gods. They're awful. They're awful people. But Hephaestus was just a forger. Well, I say just a forger in the same way that Ulfane from Darksiders is just a forger, but at the same time, I don't know what you would expect from him. Though, I will admit, like, once again, just like certain people are disappointed, I'm disappointed that Zeus never used a lightning bolt. That would have been cool.
Yeah, we just had lightning illusion, which
Yeah.
seems to be the thing they mostly do. They seem to really shy away from having elemental attacks in this series until more recently.
Yeah. Yeah. Sun Eater says Metal Gear Rising, if you played it, ranked the bosses. I didn't play Metal Gear Rising, I played Metal Gear Solid and some of their sequels. Skin said, and I still think that Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes was the best one. And then Snake Eater. Snake Eater was good. Skin said, Miss sounds like that because the sub game has come to a stop. Ooh.
Sad but true.
Shots fired, though. God damn.
Well, today was a good day in comparison to the month. I think once we get these 2 Ragnarok reviews out, that'll be a big help. I probably just jinxed myself by saying that. But yeah, I think um, not having any jujutsu reviews has been a big problem.
That's a
Because
huge
that
problem.
generally gets a lot of pull. Even if I do extra stuff, like I did a Hikari video, I did a video
Which did
talking about
well.
Maki and Toji. It did fairly well, but it probably did like the worst out of my non-review video.
Yeah, yeah,
Because when people aren't actively looking for stuff, it's not really going to get a lot of views. That's
no.
the benefit of doing reviews is because a chapter comes out, you release a video on it within the same day, and people are going to be looking for stuff on the internet in relation to that chapter. So then, more people are going to find it, and that's a good way to get new subs. You generally get more views with stuff like that, unless it's a very trending topic.
Mm-hmm.
Like my most viewed video is my Toji discussion, and that got a lot of views over a long period of time.
Was that the Toji versus Maki discussion?
No, that was my Toji discussion. I released that like how long has it been now? Like 8 months ago?
Oh,
It's my
okay.
most viewed video. I think it has like 43,000 views.
Well, right
It
now,
has like twice as many views as anything that comes close. Like my second most popular video, it does has twice as many views.
well, I'm not to feed the competition, but my Shiva video has been blowing up like stupidly, and I released that shit eight
I think
months
it's
ago.
it may be because of the anime and because
Yeah,
the Shiva controversies become relevant
that's
again.
right. That's all it is,
Yeah, 2.4 thousand. Nice.
and over 120 likes or something stupid, or like it's.
Let's take a look. Let's see. Yeah, 122 likes, only 9 dislikes. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's my most liked video I've ever done. It doesn't have the most views, but it's got the most likes. And I'm just like, wow, okay. So because I got disheartened with the response from the Jack video only getting like 30.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And so I was just sort of like, well, I wanted to do this character discussion series going forward, but like the Jack one took a lot of time, a lot of research. Like those videos take me like 3 days to get together because I got to do all the
Yeah.
research on. I got to reread all the chapters involving the character. Then I got to do all the research on the actual version, like, and not just Wikipedia. I got to go through other articles and etc. And then I got to compile the video. I got to record the video. I got to edit the video and find all the appropriate images, and some things are copyrighted, and like it takes me a long time to put them together. So the Adam one did okay. The Shiva one was like, all right, it was doing okay, and then the Jack one just like nobody cared, and I was just like,
That one always.
yeah, and then all of a sudden, so I got away from it, but now I'm feeling like, well, maybe because I've had like the Thor video on the back burner sort of idea because I wanted to do
Yeah.
human god, human god, human god, and I don't want to do a video like the proper thing to do would be do a video on like Buddha or Zerafuku right now, but since we're not finished the fight, I don't want to talk about them yet.
Yeah, it'd be best to wait.
Yeah,
That's why I generally shy away from doing most character discussion videos unless their arc's over, because then something could happen the next week and
exactly,
completely invalidate. That happened
exactly.
with my Mahito video, where I by the way, guys, Jujutsu Kaisen manga spoiler. Um,
Mm.
in my Mahito video, I'm like, yeah, I think he's gonna stick around till like the end of the series, and then either the next week or the week after, we got that chapter where they it's Yuji and Toto fighting Mahito, and they break out into the surface, and he says, "This is our last chance to curse each other." And I'm like, "Oh shit, that's something you say if you don't plan on running away from a fight." Oh fuck, my entire video is irrelevant now. Great.
Yeah, that's the problem with making character discussion videos when the character the arc isn't done, the character development isn't done, etc., etc. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and I mean, and if you're extremely popular, like some of the bigger YouTubers, you can get away with that shit by doing like a discussion video every week about the latest shit. But when you're not, does sort of suck in that.
Yeah, that's why every review is a discussion video. Chat.
Exactly, exactly. Let's see. Sun Eater says, and which fighters for both God and humanity will survive? I mean, God, that's a whole fucking stream in and of itself. Skin said, Griever, have you ever gotten shocked being an electrician? Yep, all the time. The worst I got was a 347 neutral shock. Anybody who tells you that the hot wire hurts more, they're wrong. A neutral shock hurts more, and 347 can kill you. And it hurt like a bitch. Ironically, it was when I just got my license. I had never gotten a shock. Well, I'd gotten shocks as a kid and shit like that. But I'd never gotten a shock in all my days, my entire apprenticeship, 5 years, no issue. First week on the job, fucking got a 347 neutral, put me on my ass. And it hurt like a motherfucker. Technically, you're supposed to go to the hospital when that happens. Because they gotta put the heart monitor on you because there can be residual problems. If it went from your arm through to your arteries, it can go through the heart and it can stop your heart and give you a heart attack. So, technically you're supposed to do that. I didn't, but you should. Joseph says, I'm curious to know how you think Record of Ragnarok fighters will do against One Piece characters. By the looks of it, once again, Eyes of the Lord wins, so that's all I gotta say about that.
There you go. This is a question for me from Sun Eater Grom. Miss Kengan question. Which is more likely to be Tarashi's fighting style for his size, wrestling, MMA, Taekwondo, or something new? If he's fighting Okubo, it'll probably be MMA, but since he's this mysterious figure that we know nothing about, they may just make up some new shit for him.
Like super karate style 2.57.
Yeah. They'll fucking make something up.
Which honestly can work.
Kengan makes up martial art.
Yeah,
the main character has a fictional martial art. Actually, a lot of the characters have fictional martial art.
Listen, my favorite martial art of all time is still a fictional one from Rurouni Kenshin. Hiten Mitsurugi style. So
that sounds fantastic.
It's the best style ever. And you know what's crazy? Jump Force the game sucks so bad, but there was a great scene where Kenshin meets up with Zoro, some sword fighter from Hunter x Hunter, and another guy, and he basically teaches them swordsmanship, and I'm just like, you know what, Jump Force, you have a lot of problems, but at least you know who the OG swordsman is. At least you know who the strongest swordsman of Shonen is. Let's fucking go. Kenshin is teaching Zoro from One Piece, this dude from Hunter x Hunter, and this dude from fucking something else, and then it just like, listen.
I have no idea who that Hunter x Hunter one is. I could think of like one guy I remember having a sword, and it's not him. Apparently he's not.
No, wait a minute.
Oh, no, wait. Hold on. Maybe it was Nobunaga.
Could have been. I'm not sure, but it was Zoro. Maybe, is there a dude in, there's a dude in Yu Yu Hakusho, but no, that wasn't it. I can't think. I think it was like Trunks from Dragon Ball, Zoro, somebody else, and he was like, listen, I am going to teach you swordsmanship. And I was like, goddamn right you are. Because that dude kicks ass. Because his idea is like, once again, this is internal and shit, but at the end of the day, and this isn't a spoiler miss, because one day you gotta watch this shit. It's amazing. But, basically the concept of Hiten Mitsurugi is godlike speed. You move fast.
Of course, speed.
It's speed. Right, it's all about speed. And then, but the problem is that this guy, which this is actually historically accurate. It was all about the Shinsengumi and all that shit, which is why like Okita and stuff like in Record of Ragnarok really appeal to me, because this is an anime I grew up with, and the Shinsengumi and stuff, that was all the thing, right, in this anime. So it was the start of the Meiji era, and the idea is, at the end of the day, his master, the main character, tells him, he goes, we can't involve ourselves before the Meiji era happened in like history Japan. He said, like, why can't I go help? And he goes, no, we live in the mountains. You know why? Because the side that has our style will win. But the problem with that is that who are you or me to decide who wins in Japan? Are you going to decide for millions of people that your way is right? Like, that's the problem with these wars. He goes, we take ourselves out of the fighting because if we give ourselves to one side of any war, our side's going to win because our side has Hita and Mitsurugi. We win. We don't lose. So it's cheating. And he basically said, no, you can't do that. And I was just like, and the sad thing is, Misk, it's not arrogance. It was actually legitimately true. Because he left his master before he finished his training, and his side didn't win the war. Because he left at 14. 14 years old, our main character, and that's who he fought. He fought the Shinsengumi. He fought Okita. That's the guys he was fighting. He was fighting the greatest swordsman in the world, and he was fighting them and kicking the shit out of them. That was the problem. Is that it's like, yeah, see, that side should have lost, but because he was there, that side won. And that's what his master was telling him. It's like, for right or wrong, or justice or not, we, with all the power we have, that's not our decision to make. You know? So it was, once again, this manga, that Rurouni Kenshin is like the godfather of manga for me. It's just like, because it was before One Piece, it was before all these things. It was around the time of like Fist of the North Star and shit. So
I see. So it's an old time thing. It's a classic.
it's right. It's a classic, and it's still so good. And you know what the sad thing is? The anime is on Netflix, and in the English dub holds up so fucking well, and the manga still holds up. It's so good. Anyways,
Oh, yeah, that is weird. I may have to check that out someday when I'm not always putting other shit on the back burner.
well, I would tell you this. Since you've already read Bleach, correct?
Correct.
And you're currently reading Toriko. The only things that I would recommend to you above Kenshin would be Shaman King. That's it.
Not even One Piece?
Nope. I put Kenshin.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, shit. Well, I guess One Piece gets pushed back again.
Yeah. Like, no, in all seriousness, Kenshin is such a good, and it's a lot shorter, so you get through it quicker and stuff. Like, One Piece is a slow burn.
Good.
So, but I mean, it's still like, I don't know, like 200 something chapters, maybe 300. I don't really remember, but it's definitely not like 500-600 chapters. So, but it was well before, and it's so good and stuff. So yeah. But anyways, Dragon's Rage said, let me think for a second. Yeah, worth it. Yeah, we knew that. Skin said, yeah, bro, seeing Griever lose his mind was entertaining as fuck. Yeah, I slammed my head against the wall, guys. I hope you guys are going to pay for my concussion treatments. Oh, wait, I'm in Canada. I don't pay. Aphrodite. Yeah, I had to make the Canadian joke. Aphrodite is the only pair of titties we'll get in the series. Most of the Valkyries. Am I a joke to you? Well, yeah, they sort of have been. Other than Hurst, yeah. Hurst had titties. And who teamed up with the manly chick? Who teamed up with Raiden? She had titties. Thrud, yeah. She had titties. So, but Aphrodite's titties are god tier.
They're huge. They're bigger than most people's skulls.
Exactly. Sun Eater said,
which makes you have to wonder, is there a point where they're too big? I would say that point has been reached.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, can an ass be too fat? Can titties be too big?
Yes. There is a point where you get to diaper ass.
I mean,
like
yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. Fair enough. Like, I'm an ass man, so it's, I mean, why do you think I married a Latina? But, yeah. Sun Eater said, well, Fenrir, of course, the wolf thing, Loki, wolf's son. I don't think it had any, did it have something to do with Loki, Fenrir?
I'm pretty sure Fenrir is one of Loki's children.
Oh, be part of Odin's backstory.
I think Loki has, like, 3 kids. If I'm remembering correctly, there's like an 8-legged horse that Odin rides.
Yes.
There's Hela, the goddess of the. I don't know if she's the goddess of death. I think
Hella,
that's what her job is. And then there's
Hella's.
Fenrir, who's the big apocalypse wolf who ate some dude's hand,
Yes,
and I think is supposed to kill Odin during.
I do remember that, but I didn't think that Loki was the father of. Wikipedia is going to be difficult, so never mind. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to trust everybody. I'm going to.
Pretty
So,
sure he is.
okay,
Fairly
sure.
confident.
Will it be part of Odin's backstory? I have no idea. Dranger
Maybe.
said, "Hey, Misk, how's the Patreon going? How is it going, Misk?"
It's going all right. It's fairly consistent. It doesn't usually change that much in size between the months.
Hmm. Boom Bomber says, Hearst has them badonkadonks, not gonna lie. Yeah, Hearst got
The
them
Donkers.
badonkadonks. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's some old terminology. That's some dude dad shit. Caden says, Hephaestus is the god of fire and blacksmithing. Yeah, I know that. He forges Zeus's thunderbolts, blah, blah, blah. He keeps all the gods' weapons in good shape, so everyone. If he wasn't around, I'm pretty sure most of the gods' weapons would be weaker than they are. Yeah, but in this manga, clearly, Zeus doesn't need his lightning bolt, I guess. So, I don't know.
It's implied that he has a weapon. He just didn't feel like using it when he fought Adam.
Which once again, maybe some people will use to say that Zeus technically is still stronger than Adam. I don't know. It's possible.
Who knows? We'll never know unless we see it.
Yeah. Skin said also Record of Ragnarok manga has been amazing with sales as of late, so I guess you could thank the anime for that. We should be thanking the anime for a lot more than just that, but yeah. Caden
It was
said
doing pretty well ahead of time, but the anime probably helped.
Yeah, Caden said your Jack the Ripper video is one of my favorite videos that you made. Second is the Adam video. Well, thank you very much. That actually makes me feel, because I really do, knowing that my Shiva video is like booming right now, I really want to make the next video, which was planned to be the Thor or Poseidon video. And I'm not sure which one yet, but I want to do one of them. Sun Eater said these book about, there is, I'm assuming, book about Hephaestus in my school's library where he kicks Ares' ass. Probably accurate, sure. And where's Cthulhu? Isn't Cthulhu
He's
made
in
by...
the audience during one of the fights. You
Yeah,
see
but...
him.
Oh, really? I thought Cthulhu
Well,
was
it's
not...
not literally Cthulhu, but it's a dude with a squid head.
Yeah, but
So
isn't
that's about
Cthulhu...
as close as you're gonna get.
I thought Cthulhu was something from like Lovecraft or D&D.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
so
It's
so that's not a...
Lovecraft is public domain, so you can still
Guys,
include it, but it's not really mythology.
yeah, like that's like, once again, people saying they want to include Kratos. I'm sorry. No. That's stupid.
Dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Yeah, why don't we
Sorry,
put
fellas, but that's kind of dumb.
on the human list, why don't we put fucking Harry Potter while we're at it? It doesn't make sense. It's another fictional character made by another fictional... Like, trust me, I'd love to see Gandalf the White, fight the Balrog in Record of Ragnarok. Round 2, let's fucking go. But guess what? Those are Tolkien characters and have nothing to do with human history and nothing to do with mythology, so...
Yeah, and I can always watch them just fight each other in Lord of the Rings, so it's a little unnecessary.
Goddamn straight.
No. Yeah.
Dragon said, I'm shocked that happened to you on your job. Nice
Oh
pun.
my god.
Nice pun. Skin said, have you read the fan ending to AOT? No, because I don't...
Why the fuck would we read some shitty fan fiction ending where they're like, yes, Aaron remains a Chad who does world genocide or something?
Yeah, we solved all the problems.
Yeah, I'm concerned by how many AOT fans just became, oh yeah, genocide's okay because Aaron is based in Epic. Frankly,
yeah.
If I had to choose between the rest of the world population and Paradise, fuck Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't live there. So if it's between me and Paradise, fuck Paradise.
Zeke had the right of it.
Yeah, as fucked up as that was.
It was fucked up, but it was necessary.
Because it's a fucked up situation, so there are really only fucked up solutions.
Exactly. It was a terrible time. Like, people will judge it based on being an individual, and of course we followed the characters of Paradise the entire time, so we empathize with them. But we wouldn't empathize with them if all of a sudden the parodies were wearing swastikas, now would we?
No, and
So
I think the ending of Attack on Titan implied that all of them turned into very nationalist, maybe
yeah,
fascist people, so I feel less bad about parodies
no.
getting decided.
Attack on Titan
I'm
became
like,
way too
fuck these people.
political.
Fuck them. They're terrible now.
Yeah. Attack on Titan turned from a Walking Dead horror manga, a survival horror, to a political, and nobody seems to want to just admit that when it turned that way, it went downhill. Everyone
Well, some
wants.
people really liked it. It depends on what you're interested in.
I mean, don't get
I
me
thought it did
wrong.
the political stuff fairly well, and then like the last three chapters happened, and it was just what the fuck?
It did
It's
it.
like you forgot the entire message you were going for.
Yeah, but that's my point. It did it well, but then like you don't just change the theme. Like you imagine if One Piece went political, or if Bleach went political. Like you don't just change the theme of your story halfway through your story. People accepted it because they loved Attack on Titan, but at the same time, you gotta accept that at the end of the day, it was a bad call. Regardless if it was well written, they should have said. See what the manga tried to do, and it's a thing that I always have to pull and take out of my story, and I'm sure Band suffers from this. Is you might have a million ideas for a comedy, a romance, a horror, an adventure, an action, a this, a that, and the other thing. Guess what? You can't have them all in one story. And it feels like the manga, that's what they did. They were like, well, this is really popular. I have this other great idea that I've had on the shelf. I'm just going to insert it into my popular manga rather than write a second manga. And it sort of felt that way to me because I lost interest around the time that Aaron all of a sudden got mystical, super future sight, space typhoon, and became a shitty fucking character that everybody thought was a great character. So, yeah, I lost. Yeah, like, why would you read a fan ending? That'd be like me writing a fan ending to Seven Deadly Sins. Like, I could write it, it'd be better than Nakaba, but that doesn't mean that it's accurate, and why would I take my time? Why would it matter? So, I don't know. Sun Eater said someone on Reddit believes that Terahashi is
Oh,
Yumi.
that's a Kengan thing. Typical Redditor moment.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think a character who we saw like on screen with another character is actually that guy in disguise somehow.
Hmm.
Big Reddit brain.
Hmm. Dragon Train said Okita was sick, to be fair. Yeah, Okita was dying from tuberculosis his entire life.
Which is why his Ragnarok appearance is very interesting because I assume you don't have tuberculosis in the afterlife.
And plus, you notice how young he is because he never lived past that.
Yeah, that was his prime, which
And
implies that like all of the children we've seen have died in childhood.
yeah, like he survived that long and was that badass a swordsman at that point. He was the leader of the Shinsengumi. It was amazing. Skin said, Misk, have you heard about
Kaiju number 8.
yeah, and I think you did. Weren't
Yeah,
you
not being
reviewing it?
weekly anymore, going to bi-weekly, good. I mean, it was effectively almost bi-weekly already with all the breaks the author took. I just hope this means the schedule will be a bit more consistent now. And I'm all for it, because frankly, weekly manga is bullshit. Like, you should not be, humans were not meant to work under that kind of schedule.
No, like if you were able to write like 50 chapters over like 3 or 4 years and then like post them, you know what I mean? Weekly, like weekly releases, sort of like movies. Movies take a year to make. Like Lord of the Rings took like I think like 2 years to make all 3 films.
Which is shocking considering how fucking huge those movies
Yeah,
are.
and then they released them in subsequent order. So there was no delays, there was no bullshit because it all worked out. But they already had the product made. So if Oda already had 20 like or 40 or 50 chapters of One Piece made, then he could sit back and relax for 3 months and then draw a chapter every 2 weeks and eventually get caught up and then go, yeah, guys, I'm on vacation again for 3 months, hiatus. We're gonna jump back into it. That's okay, but as Miss, you're saying, like the weekly thing doesn't work that way, and it really needs to, or it's got to be bi-weekly. But the problem is with bi-weekly or monthly, people expect more pages. Nobody wants to wait 1 month for 20 pages.
Right, right. Well, that's fair because people would generally be able you would expect someone to be able to do more than that over a month. You could do more than one
True.
you would be getting more than 1 day to do each page, which is not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently for most weekly shonen authors it takes maybe like 4 to 5 hours to do a whole page.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're not working weekly, you can do like a few pages a day, and then you could do way more than 20 pages a month.
I mean yeah, I would say absolutely, but at the end, I'm just saying that like the problem is, let's say we turned all weekly monthly, somebody would be like, hey, I'm gonna do weekly, and that'll be the new niche, you know? Like,
Yeah, yeah, we'll probably times a flat circle, we'd probably end up doing weekly again at some point.
yeah, so you're never gonna get away from it. I just hope that people accept, like, for example, like Jujutsu Kaisen going on hiatus, and I hope, like, so many people complain, but see, Oda did this the smart way. He takes a break every month. It's
Yeah, he does a chapter for 3 weeks and then takes a break, right? Is
yeah,
that what he does?
yeah. He only releases 3 chapters per month. Doesn't matter what the holidays are. And the holidays, sometimes it's only 2 chapters a month.
Yeah,
Like
maybe Gege should do that too. I could take a
every
week off.
every mangaka should do that. Every manga should have a 1 week break, because that gives them time to get caught up. Look at the not the latest chapter, but Jujutsu Kaisen 149 or whatever it was, where the pages were half drawn
Yeah,
because he hadn't
150, the pages weren't finished for
he
two of
couldn't
them.
even finish because he was that far behind.
Yeah.
Like, clearly the man is exhausted and working too hard. He needs a break.
Oh, that Mappa event, where they had the Chainsaw Man trailer and everything. Have you seen the pictures of the AOT anime director?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, I have never seen fucking eye bags that big. This dude looks like he hasn't slept in about a year. This is
Really?
genuinely kind of concerning. I'm kind of worried for this dude's health. If I
And
can find a picture of
and
him.
and and that's the one doing the Chainsaw Man.
A different guy is doing Chainsaw Man. In fact, I think one of the directors is the guy. One of the directors is from One Punch Man season one, so pretty happy about that. And a few other things. Actually, I think the directors weren't people that had done like whole animes themselves, but they had worked on episodes that turned out really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Interesting. Well, if you find a
Also,
picture, just try to post it.
yeah, okay, I think I'm gonna find it now.
All right. Sun Eater
Three.
says, and I believe Fenrir will be a part of Odin's backstory and Odin will kill him. I mean, maybe. There's so much surrounding Odin. And Record of Ragnarok always surprises us with the direction they take. So, Skin said, bro, I can't wait for Griever to become a huge YouTuber with like 1 million subscribers. Guys, I'm sorry. I've been in this game for about like 6 years. It ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry. Like, I ain't gonna just blow
Yeah,
up at 30 years old. I'm not just gonna blow up tomorrow. It's probably not gonna
I
happen.
found the pictures. I sent them in text speech.
Oh,
That dude
okay.
needs a fucking vacation.
I'll check him out. But yeah, Skin, I appreciate the vote of confidence. But the most that I can ever see myself getting is maybe 10,000. That's about as high as I ever expect to go. And I literally don't even expect to get that far. If I reach Misk's level of 3.3, I'll be content. Because I know that my content's not for everybody. My voice is nasally. I'm 30 years old. I'm not a young guy anymore. It's a young man's game, etc., etc. There's just, and I'm behind. I'm behind. I didn't catch up with the anime community. I watched Tekking and King of Lightning and people for a long time before I actually decided to get off my ass and start recording. And at that point, the YouTube was like oversaturated with anime reviewers. So I missed the opportunity to jump in with that ship, and so I mean I appreciate the vote of confidence, but it's just probably never gonna happen unless people start like the Church of Griever all of a sudden.
Start a religion with 600 people. Who knows what?
Yeah, I mean you never know. At least my
I
religion.
could start an actual organized religion. I think I have people.
There you go. I mean,
No, if it worked out like my Patreon situation, I would have like 10 people show up.
I mean, but at the end of the day, miss, we could do like a system like the Four Horsemen, and we can have like you, me, band, and somebody else, and just be like, all right, we are the Four Horsemen. You listen to us now. Like that would be the
I'm
ultimate
sure
religion.
they would be very compelling.
Yeah, exactly. It's the most compelling religion of all, and we wouldn't actually ask them to do anything. We're just like keep watching our videos. Like that's all
Keep
you need to do.
watching my videos. Turn off your ad blocker.
Yeah,
Join my Patreon.
exactly. Um, Joseph said, I've heard an interesting fan matchup. Joseph says, Reinhard Heydrich versus Hells or Hella. Hella,
I
I
have no
know.
idea who that first one is.
I don't know who
Wait a
Reinhard.
second, is that guy a fucking Nazi? He is, isn't he?
I'm gonna.
That's a German name.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a Nazi.
high-ranking
I
German.
would generally like listen, serial killer, whatever. He's basically a fictional character at this point, considering no one knows who the fuck he was. But
True.
when you have like actual
Yeah, like so many
documented
people wanted.
genocidal dictators.
You know how many people wanted Hitler, right?
Well, because when they say, "Oh yeah, we found the most despicable human in all of history to fight for us," and it's like, "So you found Hitler?" No, you found a guy who murdered like
Or
5 prostitutes.
Ramses,
Okay.
or Stalin,
Yeah,
or
like any evil person who committed mass murder or other
Cleopatra.
atrocities.
There's a
We
lot of
just
them.
got this one guy who murdered a few prostitutes, and like we have had more brutal serial killers since then. The only deal with Jack is that he's a fucking mystery man, and he was around 150 years ago, so no one, there's no one alive today that would be like, my mother was killed by Jack the Ripper. This
That's
is
right.
very offensive to me.
But what he
Whereas if you
did,
had like fucking
Jesus.
Ted Bundy, you would be like,
Though, then again, when you think, like, the legacy of Jack the Ripper, or actually as he's known as the Whitechapel murderer, he's not actually Jack the Ripper, um, he was this so. See, it was the first time he rose to a level of fame. It's similar to like Elvis Presley and sort of idea. Like television and radio and everything was on the rise at the time. And it's the same thing. The printed news was the like on the rise at the time when Jack's killings happened, and it just made him infamous so quickly. And the fact of the matter is that I saw that like once again. Miss, have you seen my Jack video? I don't know if you saw it.
I believe I watched it when it came out, yeah.
Oh, sure. But there's a picture that I was like sitting here like at midnight, which it is, you know, and I was sitting here on my computer and everything's dark and stuff, and I was zooming in on a photo from like 1888 of what he did to that woman, and when you start to piece together what you're looking at, it makes you want to vomit. Like
Yeah, one of those.
like he didn't just kill prostitutes, he dissected them. It was.
I mean, we've had a dear number of those before.
Oh, absolutely, but can you name like that's the thing. Jack sort of like you can't go much further back in history other than like as I said dictators like Ramses or blah 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 or any of these people. But you can't really go further back in history and show us somebody so brutal that wasn't doing it for the government, wasn't doing it for against the Jews or against this or against that. We're talking a guy only 100+ years ago, and serial killers basically of today over the last 100 years copied him. Sure, they might have done more
Yeah.
brutal things, but he really like I don't know of something that grotesque.
I guess it's because he's the serial killer, and a guy
Right.
who goes out and fucking butchers people himself is different from a guy who tells a million soldiers to go and commit systematic genocide.
Exactly. Like, did Hitler actually kill anybody ever? Did Stalin?
Not directly,
I
but
don't.
what he
I
did
mean,
got a bunch of people
maybe,
killed.
but I
So,
don't know. Like, that's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
maybe he shot like one or
Maybe.
two people once at a party or
Yeah,
something, but the
maybe.
guy wasn't going out and doing it himself. He had all of his minions do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it is very interesting to get that versus Hela.
Besides, why have Hitler for an army battle when you can have Keen with a terracotta army?
I mean, there is that. Skin said, if Mist really wants views, then he should make a Goku versus Superman video. Listen. We all know that you can't beat Goku, okay? No, you make a Goku versus Saitama video, and then you make Goku win and just freak out the One Punch Man community.
Woo!
Which, by the way, Goku wins. Um, Joseph says, the one who led the Holocaust versus the ruler of hell. See,
Yeah, that was the suggestion.
that's the big thing, and I'm just like, yeah, but like,
Can we not have a
it's
Nazi on the good guy
yeah,
side, please?
yeah, because like, see, that's the problem. You'd be rooting for a Nazi, and
Which is, listen,
at that
serial
point, I
killer,
would
we can
say
basically make him a
Zero
victim.
Fuku's right and kill humanity. Like, you're gonna represent humanity with the reason that humanity shouldn't exist.
We
Seriously?
already had that with round 4. Why do it again?
Exactly. And Heracles was a Chad, the greatest character
Who
in the
proved
series.
why we should exist. There
Exactly.
you go.
Against the evil serial killer. What do you want to do? You're not going to have Heracles 2.0, guys. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter what Nazi or what fucking Stalin or whoever you bring in. You're never going to have a Ramses II. You're never going to have Heracles come in for a second time. He's dead. He's gone. He saved the most evil heart of humanity, apparently. The most lost heart. He saved him. And that was his job, and now he's gone. So, like, actually bringing in an evil human at this point would shit on round 4 when you think about it, because that
I
was
don't
the
think
whole.
Kin will be evil. He'll just be like kind of crazy.
Yeah, like
Or
you're gonna have,
egotistical. I
like,
mean, the
look
dude
at
literally fucking lost
Lu
his mind
Lu
from eating
Lu
mercury
Bu
all the
is not
time.
exactly like Lu Bu is not exactly a nice person.
No, so they just kind of made him a neutral Kenpachi type.
Exactly, and you're gonna have that. You're gonna have Quinn being like I'm sophisticated, I'm badass, and I don't care what I have to do to win. And I mean that's what we need in this tournament. But to
Yeah.
suggest to bring
It won't be like Jack. It won't be like Jack where Jack's like, I fucking love being evil so much. Be
yeah,
afraid of
he
me.
literally painted a Joker smile on himself. He was not only Jack the Ripper, he painted the Joker smile on himself. You had two characters in one. Two of the most evil, sadistic characters in fiction in one. One fictional, one not. And yet somehow, Heracles still loved him. And you know what?
I really like when stories do the whole theme of yeah, humans kind of suck. I feel like they do it more often than I think, but I really appreciate. I like round 4. It's why I like the Chimera Ant arc. It's like, boy, humans sure do suck. Yeah, but like there are also like a lot of good things about humans too. So
Yeah.
you should maybe acknowledge and accept those things.
I do agree with the yin and yang concept, and I think that exists as human beings, as a society, and also as an individual. Because there is always going to be yin and yang in humanity.
Yeah.
And round 4 was the perfect example of that. And this is why
Round 4, it's literally the gods are wrong. No matter how bad humanity is, there is still good redeemable aspects of them, so they should not be gotten rid of.
exactly. And Heracles fought for that. And it was so like this is why Heracles I love Adam. Trust me guys. But Heracles is literally the greatest character, and Jack proves this. Brunhilde proves this. I've never seen her cry in the series other than asking for forgiveness at a picture of her brother. That was one of the most heartbreaking chapters I've read in the entire series. And then we have Jack later on. Still, now in round 6, Jack is still relevant, and he's thinking. Gull hates Jack, but has the compassion of her brother. Heracles shows it to Jack, and Jack once again regrets. He wishes he wasn't the way he was. Heracles changed the worst serial killer of human history into a regretful human being.
That is the best part of round 4, is Jack is this irredeemable piece of shit, and by the end of the fight, he's become introspective and actually cares about another person.
And he wants Heracles back. That's the worst part. And this is why I think this is why Misk, when I was talking about it in the anime, when I said that I had a new appreciation for Lu Bu versus Thor, because I never recognized it before, but now retrospectively after watching round 4 and knowing that Jack just wants Heracles back, Thor wants Lu Bu back.
Yeah, I recognize that in the manga. I didn't. After like Lu Bu gets killed, Thor looks very sad. He looks very depressed about the outcome of the fight.
Right. And I did see that, but I guess I didn't recognize it much. I think I needed the OST. I needed the music to tell me. I needed the animation. I needed it to tell me Thor is upset. Thor is sad that he's never going to see. And they say it in the manga. They would have been best of friends, comrades in arms, had they met in any other series.
Been, I think in the manga they said rivals, and in the anime they said they would have been like best friends.
Yeah, comrades, yeah. And it's just like, you can see it. They would have tested their mettle against each other, sort of like Whitebeard. Well, I know you won't get. You might get the reference. Whitebeard and Roger in One Piece.
I have seen the panel.
Yeah, they've never. They fought each other, or Garp and Roger fought each other for decades. Never actually tried to kill each other. Because honestly, they didn't. Like at the end of the day, same in One Piece. They didn't actually want to kill one another. They wanted to test their mettle and beat them, but they didn't want to actually kill them. And I think like Lu Bu and Thor would have liked to not have had to do a death blow.
Yeah. Tenryu, are you still having problems joining my server? I've sent you another link. I don't know what the fuck's going on. When I try to add you directly through the server, it doesn't have your name show up. I don't know if there's something with your Discord settings or something. If the invite links aren't working, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so that being said, I'll jump in here to the rest of the chat, which I've been ignoring. I'm very sorry for that. But guys, when we're talking round 4, I get very emotional, and Misk feeds into that because
round 4 has all the stuff to talk about.
Exactly. We could keep ranting about that, but anyways, the fan matchup, blah blah blah. Goku, ruler of hell. Skin said Aaron literally said he doesn't know why he committed global genocide. Yeah, it was terrible. Sun Eater said, "Do you know Stephen King believes Pennywise was real and will kill him?" I mean,
look that up. I didn't see anything about that.
I mean, maybe, but Stephen King is fucked in the head anyways. You can't be a great writer without being a little fucked in the head, so maybe.
You gotta be a little messed up to think of some of that shit.
Exactly.
Take psychedelics, you'll probably write the greatest thing in human history.
That's right. Skin said, Armin literally talked no jutsu his way out of every problem post-time. Skin literally thanked Aaron for global genocide. Yeah, that is what happened.
Not good.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't good, but that is what happened. Skin said Mikasa had no character, Mikasa had no character development and literally made out with a corpse and is obsessed with Aaron even after death. She is just trash. She's not trash. She's empty. She was only filled with her ideal, like, Aaron was the only person that gave her purpose and stuff. I could argue a little bit for Mikasa's character. Not much, But she's not
You
the
could
worst.
try.
Yeah. I could give a fair argument. I might lose the argument, but I think I could build a decent argument. Let's call it decent, like a 3 out of 10. I could give you that argument. Skin said Annie ate some pie and everyone magically forgot her crimes and how she's a war criminal and murdered Levi's entire squad. Yeah, see, that's the other thing that happened. There was too much. There was too much in Attack on Titan. After the time skip, there was too much easy forgiveness for literal serial killer level
Literal
murder.
war crimes. Literal war crimes.
Yeah, like massacres. We're not talking killing 1 or 2 people. We're talking massacres. Dozens of people are dead because of Zeke, because of Annie, because of Reiner, because of all these. And Reiner's actually a good character. But goddamn, the man should be brought up on like 3,000 versions of war crimes.
There should be a fucking there should be a war crimes tribunal for all characters in AOT.
No shit. Skin says, but Levi doesn't hold any animosity towards Annie, who murdered his entire squad. Yeah, see, once again, that was weird. Skin said Eren literally was a puppet to Ymir through the story. Just think about that. Yeah, that's exactly what Eren was and why he's not a good character, people. He's a shitty character at the beginning, and once he finds out that he's being controlled by Ymir, he's still a shitty character. He's just a worse character. He's a one-dimensional piece of shit who had a terrible ending. People praising Eren as a good character are fucked in the head. Sun Eater said, hold on, a big dog is fighting another dog outside. Be right back. Okay. Well, that's scary. I hope the dogs are okay. There's no such thing as a bad dog, just bad owners. Skin said, AOT tried to pull a Code Geass and failed terribly. Yeah, I think that's what they were going for, and it was shitty. Like I calculated, if AOT takes place in the 1920s, the population then was about 1 billion. Eren's murders 80%, that's 30 million. People left versus the 1 million of Paradise. Okay, numbers. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the math, but is that relevant? Like, are we just saying that Eren killed 30 million people or 1 billion people? Like, that's
Wait
crazy.
a second, hold on. No, there'd be 200 million people left. That's 20% of a billion. You forgot a zero.
Yeah, I was sort of adding up that numbers, and those numbers weren't making sense. So yeah, Miskin here with the math, he's not wrong. So,
Me, who did not do that well in math.
and surprisingly, me, who's an electrician, which is what math is all about, I miscaught it before I did. I knew there was something a little off, but. Boom says, most folks don't realize how much time it takes for manga artists and animation studios to pour legit years of their life and blood and work into it. It's insane. Oh, trust me, Misk and I know that. Tenryo said, will I be able to join the voice chat? Tenryo, you have the link, man.
I don't know what's going on. You may need to check your settings or something.
You joined my chat.
Google why it's not working.
You've joined my Discord. It's possible to join Misk. All you gotta do is join his Discord. It's not difficult. Skin said, like, what's stopping the outside world from just killing Paradise? They have no titans and no defense and are outnumbered. Absolutely.
That's what happens in the volume ending. They just fucking bomb the whole island. Like 80 years later.
Yeah, like, so nothing mattered. That means the entire story didn't matter. It's so fucking stupid.
Oh, it ruined Erwin's charge. Fuck.
It ruined everything. Apparently there's a new person in here named Jean de Baton, and Misk has been deleting all his messages because he's been spamming.
Tried to sing one of the boss themes from Metal Gear Rising in chat. I don't know why I have to say this, but if you're doing the lines for an entire song in chat, that's fucking spam.
Yeah, that's spam. Guys, that's spam. Misk wasn't wrong to do that. Skin said, what about the Zodiac Killer? You mean the Jack?
We know less about that guy than we do about Jack.
Yeah, we know about the Zodiac Killer. The difference is Jack was first. It's sort of like people that praise George Martin. It's sort of like, he invented Game of Thrones. You wouldn't have it without Lord of the Rings.
Band?
So you got Tolkien first.
Band, are you there?
Band. Oh, there he is.
Band, you're louder now. Thank God.
Cool.
Oh, Band
How are
is here.
Look.
Oh, that's great. You're breaking up a little.
Okay, band.
And there we go. He's been sucked back into the interdimensional vortex.
I hope that you fixed your thing, Bam, because I'm almost at the end of my chat here. I feel like a Misk right now. How did I not catch up with my chat already? Jesus.
Good
Um,
discussion.
yeah, good discussions. That's right. Because I need to pee and get more beer, and I'm hoping that Misk and Ban can take over in a second. So, uh, Skin said, "Yeah, I'm a guy that rarely ever gets squeamish about blood or rape or murder and stuff. I mean, you should get squeamish about that shit. I'm squeamish about blood. Listen,
Well, if
guys.
you've seen a lot of it,
Listen.
you're probably gonna be much more desensitized to it. But there's still stuff that can get me.
That's right. And at the end of the day, guys, look, there's a reason that I'm not a doctor. You know, I'm
Couldn't do
saying
it.
I got the brain for it, and a lot of you guys who don't think you do probably have the brain to be a great doctor. It's the blood, the needles, the shit, the piss, all the crazy stuff. I'm squeamish. I'm sorry. I just am. So I could never have done it. So and I'm so appreciative of the people that can. Um, I mean, in an emergency situation, of course, I can hold my hand down on your throat so you don't bleed out and shit. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do it for a living. And what Jack did to those women was legitimately disturbing and disgusting. Well, yeah, Skin saying like I'm not squeamish about that shit, but yeah, what Jack the Ripper did was crazy. That's why because he did it with his own hands. We could argue Hitler, Stalin, all these people that they're more evil than Jack, but Jack
But they don't
legitimately.
make for good battle manga characters.
And also they weren't the ones with the knives and the fucking and
Right.
the scalpels and fucking turning a woman's fucking womb inside out.
Oh God.
Yeah, Jack did that. Not the Zodiac killer, not Ted Bundy, not Hitler, and not Stalin. Not saying these people aren't fucking evil, but Jack he enjoyed doing that shit. Like think about that for a second.
Well, I get it now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was not good. So I was in
Again,
the
I will not look up Mary Kelly. I do not want to see that.
yeah, no. Mary Kelly's the one photo that exists. Like the others ones are drawings. Mary Kelly is the fourth victim, I believe, or the fifth, and we have photos, and it's no, you don't want to see it. I couldn't share it in my video. I believe in my video I said I would have shared this.
Your shit would get taken down if it's what I'm
Yes.
hearing.
I told them, I said, no. I remember on the video, I said, guys, it disturbed me. I just the same way I told you, Miss. I said, I was disturbed. I'm not sharing that photo. It would get taken down by YouTube anyway, but no, I'm not sharing that. That is disgusting.
Like I've seen some fucked up live leak stuff. I've seen people get killed in really gruesome ways before, but that sounds like some different shit right
Yeah,
there.
and the worst part is it's a grainy photo, so the more you look and the more you realize what you're looking at, the worse it gets. It's
Oh,
disturbing. At first, you look at it, you're like, oh man, that's not that bad until you realize what you're looking at. And then you keep looking and keep looking. Yeah, no. Joseph said, I agree. Adding a not still list is bizarre, not really good. I just thought it was an interesting matchup. Yeah, it'd be an interesting matchup, but of course, like how would you make that work, right? Skin said, just like Google my, yeah, we already talked about that. Joseph said, there's a female counterpart to round 4. Elizabeth Bathory versus Athena. No, how about Queen Elizabeth or Queen Victoria? How about that? Now, if you want to add a female character, a female badass, how about we add, Joan of Arc, which once again, because of Fate Stay Night, they probably didn't want to do. But why don't you add like Queen Victoria into the mix if you wanted more females? You know, like that would have been cool. Joseph says, also, I think we're going to take off. So see ya, Joseph. Sorry that it took so long to get to that, but bye.
yeah, we're probably not gonna get that chapter tonight. I don't
I
see it happening.
I don't see it happening either. Caden said
Oh
in
well.
Thor's last attack against Lu Bu, people thought that didn't go all out, but it stated that Thor knew this was going to be the strongest attack he's ever done in his life. Same for Lu Bu.
Yeah, so like he went all out once. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
different from like Zeus or Poseidon or Heracles or Shiva who went all out for many attacks for like a few
right.
minutes were going on
But
as
not
opposed to doing it for a second.
Yeah, we're not denying that Thor went all out and that was his strongest attack. What we're saying is that Thor probably could have done that attack again. Like that's what I'm saying at least. Miss said, "Don't do that. It's spam." Yeah, yeah. Skin said, "Oh Jesus, the memes I've seen about the director of AOT. Oh, they must be
Oh
crazy."
yeah, I posted his pictures in text to speech. The dude looks like he hasn't slept in a year.
Oh, I'll check them out shortly. Skin said, "Aaron is literally as responsible for every death in the series. Think about that. Absolutely, he is. Just like Merlin in Seven Deadly Sins." Skin said, "Everyone's sacrifice is meaningless." Like if you like Aaron, you have to like Merlin because they're the same fucking character, guys. Think about that. Lone Girl. Hello, Lone Girl. We have a female in here. Oh, wow. Says
Maybe.
Albert
You can
Fish.
never tell on the internet.
Yeah, that's true too. Albert Fish is horrifying, though, if we're talking about serial killers. Never heard
Never
of.
heard of him.
No,
Let's
me
Google
neither.
him right now and hope I
You
don't get traumatized.
okay? You Google that, Misk. I'm gonna take a quick break. I gotta take a leak and grab some beer. So
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, you
Yeah,
deal
that's
with
pretty
that.
terrible. God damn. Tenryo, Griever already tried reading Chainsaw Man. He didn't care. I mean, maybe we'll try to get him into it again someday. Maybe we'll get him to watch the anime. Who knows? But he's not in. Let's take a look. Yeah, Albert Fish, Hamilton Howard, oh my God. I can't talk. Hamilton Howard Albert Fish was an American serial killer, child rapist, and cannibal. He was also known as the Gray Man, the Werewolf of Wisteria, the Brooklyn Vampire, the Moon Maniac, and the Boogeyman. Well, that's a lot of fucking nicknames there, my guy. Is this a picture of him about to be executed? That looks like that's him getting strapped into the electric chair. Cool. Yeah, that's the type of guy you have the death penalty for. I'm generally not big on the death penalty because, like 4% of the people that get it actually turned out to be innocent through DNA evidence or other things. So, as a rule of thumb, you generally shouldn't do it so you don't accidentally murder innocent people. But when it's dudes like that who are dead to right, yeah, you can make an exception or two. Skin, don't worry, I didn't Google anything. I did not Google Mary Kelly because I don't want to see that. Skin
Oh,
says, oh, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, Band, how are you doing? Maybe I should wait for Griever to read more of the chat. Band, speak to me in non-garbled gibberish.
uh, 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 uh.
Okay, yeah. I see. I understand completely.
So who
You keep getting cut off.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Who is
Who is what? You get cut off right at the end.
the person that you won't Google?
Mary Kelly. It's the
Tell
only photographed victim of Jack the Ripper that we have.
oh, oh, it's a
So you have
victim.
photography of what happened to her body.
Oh my.
I have Griever described one of the things that happened to her, and that alone makes me not want to look her up.
Oh boy.
So Skin says, so is no one going to talk about the guys that bombed Japan? What about them? They were just the guys that dropped the bomb. They weren't the dudes that made it or anything. Sun Eater's back because he broke dogs up. That's good. Why are there just dogs fighting in your backyard?
Yeah, I'm wondering
Ian
about
says
that
some of the Nazi
myself.
scientists. Yeah, some of the Nazi scientists were inspired by Jack the Ripper and based some of their human testing crimes on him. Really now? Not surprised. They
Yeah.
they they learned from the best. They learned
Oh,
from
can I
America.
quickly ask Misk? Was Albert Fish really terrible?
Okay, let's look him up again. He lived from 1870 to 1936.
Yeah.
Hamilton Howard Albert Fish was an American serial killer, child rapist, and cannibal. He was also known as the
Oh.
Gray Man, the Werewolf of Wisteria, the Brooklyn Vampire, the Moon Maniac, and the Boogeyman.
Mm.
What was his what was the cause of death? Executed by electric chair. Yeah, that's the guy. That's the type of guy you make that for.
Yeah, I think the reason, just so we're clear, because I think that that's part of the point that Lone Girl is trying to point out, is that there are better or like serial killers that do worse things, you know, like child rapists and stuff like that, or people that have killed
Fucking eating
dozens of people.
people.
Yeah, or eating people, or etc. I think the fact of the matter is that Jack is a mystery, never caught, never hanged, has about 25 different suspects, and they're all dead now, so he'll never
Yeah,
be
so
caught.
you can get more, you know, creative license with him than any other actual serial killer because
Yeah,
he's just a guy that we don't know anything about.
exactly. So, anyways, you were on Caden, and then there was Boom Boom Bomber who said,
Yeah, Boom Bomber said female record of Ragnarok is just Majo Tyson Battle of the Gree, which is I only read the first chapter of that, and that was God knows how long ago. Has that been any good? I don't know. If you know people in the chat, let me know. Tanner, you said we need to indoctrinate Griever into watching / reading Chainsaw Man. I said that you already tried reading it, you didn't care for it. Maybe you'll watch the anime. Did you watch the trailer for the anime?
No, I didn't watch this trailer, but maybe you know what I'll do? I'll give it another fair chance. Because guys, you got to remember when Chainsaw Man came out, I was reading it week by week, and I only got so far, and then I just didn't like it because there was too many fucking. It was too BDSM for me. You know.
BDSM? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
because the main character was a fucking simp, and the one.
Yeah, well, this is true, but there are reasons for that. There are
Yeah,
understandable reasons.
I know, but then the first girl he meets is a fucking, well, she's a dominatrix or something. She gets
Jesus.
up. So,
It's a
and
boss lady.
right, and I'm just not into that. So far, the one character I like, which was a little puppy, is gone now, and I was just like,
Okay, mild spoiler, you still see him through parts of the
yeah,
series.
I
He's
figured
basically the series mascot.
yeah, I figured he would come back. But and then like there were some other characters, but at that point I was like, so I don't like the main character is simping for in the chance of getting to lick some titties, and the main girl is a fucking sociopath. And then like
True.
I was
It's
just
great.
I was just like,
Everyone loves her.
yeah, and I was just like, why do you people like this shit? Like, this is 50 Shades of Grey and manga steroids. Why do you like this? I don't get it.
Oh, we don't read it for that. You get into it because it's a guy with chainsaw appendages murdering fucking demons.
Which I will admit was the best scene I ever saw. Like
There
in
are many
Chainsaw
a scene
Man.
of that.
In Chainsaw Man,
There
yeah.
is many a scene of the Chainsaw Man doing the Chainsaw Manning.
Yeah, so I mean maybe I'll get another chance at it.
Also, the Sasuke stand-in, the
mhm.
guy who's basically the Sasuke of the series,
Yes.
infinitely better. Arguably the best character in the series.
Interesting. Good to know. Good to know. Absolutely.
Which is rare for me when it comes to the main three characters.
Yeah, because as we know, main third characters, they always suck. For the most part.
Or
For the most
usually
part.
they're just not the best. Usually you have a character that comes in later
Or you
who's a
have
lot better.
or you have like this introduction of like that's the problem with the trio, because the trio either is shitty or there's a weak link in the trio, so they
Yeah.
sort of got to get
I mean,
over.
I personally like all of the trio. I find Denji relatable, Powers are very entertaining, and Aki is very well written.
Okay, cool. um Skin said Paradise could have lived like how North Korea lives, self-isolated with a deterrent as nuclear weapons, just change it with Titans. Potentially, sure, but I don't know. Sun Eater says if you're easily disguised. Don't know what that's reference to. Skin said Bro Albert was also known as the fish of Wisteria. Oh, wow.
It's a dumb fucking name.
Yeah, why would you call him the fish? You wouldn't you call him the fishermen? You know, like that.
Yeah. I mean, he
Ki-
had they called him like the werewolf of Wisteria because he fucking ate people.
Yeah. Caden said Dotheria puteni, I probably pronounced that wrong, is one of the most famous female killers of all time. Sure,
this is some old lady. She's like a grandmother.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Well, there's also, did you know about the Black Widow killer in recent years? She's called the Black Widow because she always marries men. She finally got caught like 6 years ago. She looks like Queen Elizabeth. But she would constantly marry rich men, then kill them, take the inheritance, and move on to the next one.
This lady looks like my grandmother.
Jesus.
She ran a boarding house
your
in
grandmother.
Sacramento. No, because this lady's been. Wait, is she not dead? She's been dead for 10 years. She ran a boarding house in Sacramento, California, and murdered various elderly and mentally disabled boarders before cashing their social security checks. Wow,
Jesus.
So literal demon. Actual fucking demonic shit.
Yeah, that's creepy. Skin said, what about Vlad the Impaler? I've always said that he should be on the list. The Real Metal said, hello, The Real Metal. Said, saw Mary Jane Kelly face, and how did Jack make the mouth move to the side of the face?
Oh, did he cut her cheeks open so you could see her teeth?
No, he moved the mouth. Work that one out for yourself.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this is why...
I don't even want to think about the fucking logistics of how that works.
This is why Jack... Like, I'm sorry, chat, at the end of the day, Jack, for sickest, like, Silence of the Lambs is not as evil as Jack. I'm sorry. Like, I looked at that picture far too long. I had insomnia after I watched. Like, when I made that Jack video, and this is what disappoints me, I went through all that shit for the Jack video, and I actually terrorized myself, and I scared myself. From a dude who's been dead for probably over 100 years. I scared myself looking at this shit. And for it to not do that well. So I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sure all these serial killers have done horrific things. But Mary Jane Kelly, I'm sorry. Like that I don't think, like, not arguing that it should be topped. I'm saying that I don't think it will be topped.
Yeah, we're not going to do a serial killer tier list here.
Yeah, no. Skin said, and Joseph Stalin, who was, he was crazy. He was photoshopping before
Tenryo,
Photoshop.
why did you retract so many messages? Did you accidentally
it's been
like lay your hand on your keyboard or something?
Yeah. Boom said it's been good. The first fight concluded, which was Tom Guzan versus Elizabeth. I don't know these people. Skin said,
I don't
fact,
know.
The Zodiac killer walked in on the scene and took the evidence from his crimes and left, but the police were looking for a black American, so he wasn't suspected. That's amazing.
American cop moment. That is a certified American police moment right there.
That is. Real Med said the side of her side looked like teeth or something. Yeah. Like the side of her face. Anyways. We're not going to talk about that anymore. Skin said, what about Ivan the Terrible? Actually, good option. Ivan the Terrible is a good option for another combatant. Even though, like, evil as fuck. But still. And yeah, Tenryo has all his messages retracted. I wonder why. I'm not sure. And Skin's got quite a few retracted as well. What's going on?
I think they were talking about Chainsaw Man.
Oh, maybe.
And Tenryo felt like they may have been getting into spoilers.
Oh, maybe.
It seems like that message was deleted, so I guess that's why they got taken down.
Oh, okay. Caden said, I'm getting sick of Dragon Ball Super because they keep coming up with BS reason for Goku and Vegeta to lose to people. No, actually, the latest chapter actually makes legitimate sense. Somebody finally wished, spoilers for Dragon Ball Super, everybody, but somebody finally wished on the Dragon Balls and said, I want to be the strongest in the universe. So that's why they are beating Goku and Vegeta right now. But granted, he's still having a hard time. The dragon's power is only so great to make Goku and Vegeta actually have to try. Like, just remember that. So,
yeah, like, I'm the strongest in the universe, but I guess not by that much.
It's like
Maybe you should have been. This is why you have to be very specific with your wishes.
exactly. Don't get me wrong. Goku actually lost in the latest chapter. Goku lost, and now Vegeta. It's Vegeta's turn. Now Vegeta's going to fight the apparent strongest in the universe, who's only the strongest because he wished the dragon to make him the strongest. And Vegeta's like, well, not today. Crack his knuckles. Let's go. So, what did you guys want to have happen? There is no plot. Goku and Vegeta literally have the power of gods right now. Like, what do you want them to do? Fight in Record of Ragnarok?
Dragon Ball not have a plot anymore? Do they just like fuck around in the universe forever?
No, they actually Dragon Ball Super doesn't not actually have a bad plot. It's a pretty good plot. It's decent. It's simplistic, but it's always has been. You know, new enemy shows up, they fight him, reasons, move on to the next enemy. Right? It's not great plot, but it's what like
Seems like pretty standard.
nobody reading Dragon Ball in 1988 is going to expect something in 2021 still to this day to fucking be amazing. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still reading it and I'm still enjoying it. And it's fucking Vegeta, man. Like, almost every badass character in the last 20 years can be traced their origins back to Vegeta as the OG. So, I'm just like, oh, you're a rival character? You mean you're Vegeta?
Vegeta, yeah.
Who is still a badass. He's amazing. The real Medell said, what is the worst way to die?
I've heard burning to death.
What did you say? Burning to death?
I've heard burning to death is the
No.
worst way.
Actually, drowning to death is apparently the worst.
I see.
The reason is because burning, you eventually can't feel a thing. And if that monk who lit himself on fire during, I believe it was Vietnam, who did not cry out and sat in a meditation position, doused himself in gasoline, lit himself on fire and died in the middle of a street, and he didn't utter a fucking word. So that leads me to believe that can't be the worst way to die. So, but drowning to death has to be the worst because you still have time to struggle until you can feel your water, like your lungs fill with water, and you can constantly struggle, but at the end of the day you eventually just but you struggle to the very end. The pain of being lit on fire would make your pain receptors, you'd pass out before you actually died. That's how burn victims survive. You ever seen somebody with all their like skin like Harvey Dent, like Two-Face level like skin grafts? Like that shit happens because they didn't die. They passed out from the pain. But drowning, you're awake the whole time, from what I understand. So
Yeah, that sounds pretty terrible.
yeah, drowning would be the worst. I think. Like, you want to, like, not that I'm suggesting anybody do this. You want to kill yourself, draw yourself don't hang yourself and all that shit. Draw yourself a bath and throw a fucking.
Then, when it comes to killing yourself, it's always an easy blow your fucking brains out. It's instantaneous.
Yeah. And you know
I'm
what?
not giving advice, by the way.
No.
Don't kill yourselves. You
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
contact the suicide hotline if you're experiencing suicidal thoughts or tendencies.
Absolutely. Like, and the worst thing that people have said since I was a kid is that people who commit suicide are cowards. And I actually beat up a friend of mine once when he said that suicides are cowards.
Very good on you.
Committing suicide is not easy, ladies and gentlemen. You know how you know? Because you want to kill yourself with a razor blade. You ever met somebody who cuts themselves? I'm sure you guys all know that. You know how the cuts are horizontal? Yeah, that's why they call it the attention cuts. Because you want to kill yourself, cut yourself vertically, you'll bleed out in minutes. You take a razor blade, you cut yourself vertical, I don't care if it's thigh, the forearm, whatever, you're bleeding out in minutes. That's a fact, and everybody cuts horizontal. because the brain and your body instinctively, regardless how fucked up you might be in your head, your body wants to survive. For example, you take a brick and you tie yourself to a chain and you throw yourself in the deep end of a pool. You might think you want to die. You think you might want to drown. At the very end, your body's going to try to reach the surface. You won't be able to, but your body is instinctively, because the human body wants to live, regardless what your mind thinks. So it's actually very difficult, because committing suicide is fighting against not only your mind, but your body's instincts. It's very difficult, actually, to do. And I don't believe that it's a coward's way out and all that bullshit. I don't believe that.
Right. I think I'm gonna head out now. I don't think we're getting the chapter tonight. So.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we might be. I don't know. But yeah.
Well, yes, I'm doing it first thing tomorrow. I thought I'd be doing it first thing in the morning today, but apparently not.
Yeah. I'll probably
Anyway.
finish up the chat and stuff anyways. But yeah, I'll. How long is the stream? The stream's been going for 3 fucking hours, so I think I'm gonna do the same, Misk. I'm gonna catch up with the stream,
All right.
and then I'm gonna head out myself. So, but thanks for jumping into
Until
the
next
stream.
time. No problem. It was fun.
Yeah. All right. Miss Content, everybody.
Later, people.
So, let's catch up with the rest of the chat, and then let's just no, we'll keep that in. Unfortunately, guys, I think Misk is right. We will not be getting a chapter 48 tonight. This is so sad. This is very sad, especially since I have shit to do tomorrow. So, yeah, well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch up with the chat, and then we're going to call it. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I just don't think it's going to happen. Caden said that's very stated that H.H. Holmes was Jack the Ripper, because when H.H. Holmes was Jack the Ripper, because was in Britain, that's when they took place, and he came back and the killing stopped. I mean, there are so many evidences of who it was, so I mean, that could be the case. Skin said, could Batman solve the Ripper case? Probably. Sunnier said, John Venables and Robert Thompson. Never heard of them. Skin said, what crimes would Hitler be charged with if he was captured alive? There's a lot of war crimes. Skin said, would you rather beat up Jack or Hitler? Hitler. I'm a British Canadian, man. I'd beat up Hitler every day of the week. Skin said, I'm just that good of a detective, says Skin. Lone Girl said, rabies is the worst way to die, in my opinion. From rabies? I mean, technically, Spanish influenza, the Black Plague sounds awful too. But rabies? Really? I mean, you just sedate yourself and then be off to Blissland, so. Skin said, if you could go back in time, would you have the stomach to kill Hitler as a baby? Isn't that what they did in Endgame? You're like, can't we find baby Thanos and just... Fuck yeah, I could. If I knew it would work. Because they always show in the Stephen King book and in the, with the JFK shit, and then they show it in the Family Guy episode and stuff, things might end up worse or whatever. Could I be guaranteed that ending Hitler would make the world a better place? Then I would do it. But, you know, like, I got no problem killing the baby Hitler. That's Hitler as a baby. Slam! No problem. I am that evil. But, granted, you know, I would have to be guaranteed it is baby Hitler and blah, blah, blah. Caden said the new antagonist in Dragon Ball Super kind of get on my nerves because he acts like he didn't make a wish on the Dragon Balls to be the strongest in the universe. Yeah, he actually gets on my nerves too. I understand that. Skin said, if you could time travel, where would you go? If I could time travel. 2009, probably. 2010. 2010 is where I would travel to because I made a grievous mistake that I regret for the rest of my life in 2010-ish. Assuming, like, if I time travel, I stay there and I'm in my own body, like, in 2010 with all my knowledge of today, and I go back to 2010 and I stay in my own body, then, yeah, 2009, 2010. That's where I would go. Ideally, I would love to visit so many time periods and so many things, and I'd like to see, because so many people, so many rightists and leftists and all these people try to say, oh, this happened back then and it was egregious and blah blah blah, and I just want to take all these people and throw them into like the 16th century and be like, have at it, go convince them that they're wrong, and walk away. Because everybody judged people from 400 years ago and they don't even understand what society was like. And it's like, the reason we have society today is because of that. So I just don't, Band finally saying something, saying, oh. Wow. Skin said, but the dude that burned himself on fire on the White House didn't feel any pain. He didn't even scream. It wasn't on the White House. Skin said, after seeing his case, I can see why they're basing the Riddler on the Zodiac Killer in the new Batman movie. The guy, somebody burned, what? No. Burned himself on the White House. Burned himself on the White House. I got nothing. No, I don't think that happened. I'm talking about a dude in another country, in Vietnam or some shit. Or Japan or something. Anyways. Real Medel said, Persians would cover you in honey and strap you in a barrel and bugs would eat you alive. Yeah, that's a really sick way to die too. And it takes like a week. Awful. So yeah, that probably worse than drowning. Drowning's quicker, I guess. Skin said the Zodiac Killer's low-key like the Riddler in real life, I guess. Skin said, think about it, kills people, leaves riddles, clues. Ever caught? Yeah, sure. Skin said, fun stream. Jesus, I am tired though. I think everybody is. Senator said, once I stayed up till dawn. I've stayed out for 29 hours before. 29 hours. And I'm still waiting for a chapter to drop. Let's check the Shuumatsu no Valkyrie. What do you call it? The Discord. That's it. I wish they did it like the One Piece ones where they showed us like how far along they were. Because the moment I end the stream, they're going to drop the chapter. It's going to be very annoying considering how stuffed up I am right now. It's going to be very annoying. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. No, sir, I do not. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that dude looks so fucking, that dude's so tired, he built parts of himself onto parts of himself. That dude is so fucking tired. That guy who did AOT or Chainsaw Man or whatever, that dude is so fucking tired. God damn, that dude is so tired. Wait a minute, no. First off, Skin, you're talking about a dude who burned himself outside the White House. He wasn't in the White House. He wasn't on top of the White House. You're talking about that crazy motherfucker who was so fucking out of his goddamn mind on drugs that he lit himself on fire and fucking... No, I'm talking about a dude who was so upset at a war that he crossed his legs, poured gasoline on himself, lit himself on fire, and meditated. Because his mind was more powerful than pain. It's not impressive what... Listen, if I go off on cocaine and heroin and fucking some, what's that, fentanyl fucking shit, I'm sure I could light myself on fire too. And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't scream either. I'd probably be like, dude, getting fucking hot in here. Yeah. Like, that's not impressive. That was just fucking stupid. And it wasn't on top or on the White House. It was outside the White House. It happened 2 years ago, and it was stupid. Guy was an idiot. You keep saying, like, burning on the White House or on top of the White House. It's like, no, he's not. So it really, it definitely does suck, ladies and gentlemen, but at the end of the day, I think it's been 3 hours. It's been over 3 hours. It's 1:15 in the morning. I don't think we're getting a chapter today. Or tonight. I don't think we're getting one. It sucks. I was willing to wait up until 1. But even Miss bowed out. So, yeah. Don't get me wrong, guys. You guys will get a stream, but guess what? It probably won't be like if the chapter drops in the next 3 or 4 hours, you guys aren't getting a stream for another like 8. So that's just the way it's going to be. Sorry to say. I don't have any. Yeah, it's just the way it is. We were waiting, and it never came. So, and I don't blame Demi or Viv or anybody like that. And the redraws, they're doing a great job. They're working their ass off. They're doing a good job. But we all expected it to be dropped today. Actually, very early today, and now it's the end. And now it's into tomorrow, and it still hasn't dropped. So clearly. Yeah, clearly I gotta work on some videos tomorrow so that I have some more content. Had I known this, I probably would have worked on some other stuff. So this sort of sucks for me, an unproductive day, but it is what it is. So, yeah, it is what it is. That being said, like, comment, subscribe. As always, plug. Don't forget to drink responsibly as always. And I guess we'll see you guys, all of you, I assume, will be back here when I finally do get Chapter 48 is released. That'll be exciting. So, yeah. Hope you guys are there for that. It's supposed to be a much cooler day, so maybe I'll actually wear a real shirt. I won't just have to show you these guns all the time. You guys got free tickets to the gun show and all that. So, yeah, I guess tomorrow for Chapter 48, it'll still be a reaction, guys. Don't get me wrong. Just because I'm going to end the stream does not mean it's not going to be a reaction. It's going to be a reaction. It's going to be a stream. Don't worry about it. It'll just have to be sometime tomorrow. So, good night, everybody. Have a good time. Hope you guys enjoyed 3 hours of waiting along with me and Miss content and everybody else. So, thanks, guys. Peace out. Later, everybody. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Yeah.